Alright, are we ready? Are we ready, gamers? Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the end of the year. Happy 2 days till Christmas. Happy other holiday festivities that I don't have dates memorized for, because I have no anxiety about getting gifts wrapped or anything for those holidays. Born ready. Hello. Hello. Welcome. How y'all doing? I think I could actually make the chat a little bigger this time since we're not too worried about stuff. So I'm going to slam that big. There we go. Look at those nice big words. You work Christmas? I'm so sorry. I hope it's peaceful. I hope nobody bothers you on Christmas. That's what I think everybody who works Christmas should get. Whether you celebrate it or not. Oh my god, my desktop audio has been muted. You're missing out on my vibes. There we go. That's better. It's back. I just have like a vaporwave mix looping because that's the kind of bitch that I am. Well, well, well. If it isn't Josh Amon's, who I just listened to on his podcast, Swim Fans, the #1 podcast about dissecting erotic thrillers, films specifically. Don't get holidays off. I hope you get time and a half or double time pay. Damn it. What are the vibes tonight? Opinionated. The vibes tonight are very opinionated. How we all doing? No? That sounds like a crime. No holiday pay. That sounds like sussy baka. I think maybe we should fix that. I think maybe we should just get some orcs and we can go raise whatever workplace you have, and we'll demand better treatment for people, for employees. Hello. All right. So, I forgot to grab the live link. You guys can also vote, make your voices heard, and so on. I did kind of forget to put blueprints in this list, so I'm very sorry for people who play Blueprints and want to call it Game of the Year. It's very good. I'm going to talk about it later. What did Santos give me for this year? I don't know. It hasn't happened yet. I maybe got myself the 13th Age 2nd edition hardcover books, but I kickstarted that over a year ago, so that they just happened to come in time for Christmas. I got lucky. Anyways. You can be opinionated too. There we go, I'm gonna pin this. Oh my god, hang on. I have to hide the browser for a sec. Because I'm only using one browser, but I can only pin it from the browser. Pin. Manually unpin. There we go. Beautiful. Alright. Back to the content. Making my chat do that. You don't have to. It's completely optional. But I am gonna take advantage of having a captive audience. TMT Redux books and mutagen dice. Is TMT Redux a tabletop game? Bananki, hello. It has been a minute. How you doing? Oh Lord, the first game. The first game is actually Indiana Jones. This is a little bit louder than I wanted to be. Get down. There we go. Maybe there we go. It's louder in my ears, and I have to remember that's different from louder for you guys. There we go. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles tabletop TPG. TPG? Tabletop playing game, I hope. Pen and paper. Which one popped up for me when you opened the link for the oh, I see. I forget which one that was, to be honest, in the links. Let's see. Bad typing. It happens. It happens. Alright, so I've only done this once before, but it was a jolly good time last time. This time, I'm going to use the same rules. We have the same, I have a slightly modified list. We've got from top to bottom. I'll just say right now, Game of the Year is going to happen at the end, and it's going to be one of the ones I put in A tier. And A tier is an excellent game. If I consider your game excellent, it goes in this tier. What does it mean to be an excellent game? You have to have good pacing, you have to have enjoyable gameplay, I have to not hate your story, and in a lot of ways, the better your story, the more I'm willing to overlook the other qualities, because I'm kind of a story guy. I really like good story. I'm playing, like right now I'm playing Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden, which is a Don't Nod game that came out like last year, and there are so many quirks with that game that I have a real issue with, but I can forgive it because the story is good. You don't have to get up tomorrow, so if you could join the stream. You have a video to finish tomorrow, but it's fine. Story likers rise up. It's true. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, right. An excellent game. So then, like, this is stuff that I would be like, I could recommend to most people, is what I would say. Better than most for B tier is what I would say is like above average. If you like the genre, easy recommendation. A little bit different if you're not the kind of person who usually likes that game or that genre. I'm a little bit like, hey, you're looking for something to do? Oh, thank you for the sub, Uncle Wolfcrow.
Uncle Wolfcrow just subscribed.
I should also... Oh my god, I don't have MicroStream open. That's crazy. I can't believe I forgot. So sorry. We're good? Are we good? Where is it? There it is. Get that little guy in the other corner. There we go. Do that. There we go. I know, I'm so sorry. How could this have happened? I was doing that because I realized I want to put the Twitch alerts a little bit over here. There we go. And I want to put them on top of micro. There we go. Like I said, this took a lot of time to set up, actually. This took more time to set up than a game usually does, because I haven't done this since I redid my entire like OBS setup. Anyways, better than most. I would say this is pretty good. It's not a bad thing. It's not in any way really a bad game. If you're like a mixed bag, then you're just gonna go into a tier lower than this. If you're you know, like, oh, the story's really good, but everything else kind of sucks, it's not going to be in this tier. You have to be like at least hitting on all cylinders in one way or another. And that's what C tier is for. My favorite tier. Cromulent but quotidian, which means it's a fine game. It's a game, it was completed, it was turned in on time, it has maybe some flaws, but it has some good qualities too. It's not going to win any awards, and I'm okay with that. I don't want to insult anybody by saying that C tier is bad. C tier is like, you know how we've turned the word mid into kind of an insult? C tier is if mid was not an insult. C tier is like, you know what? It's a hell of a thing to fucking finish a game. Especially in the current year, 2025. But yeah. I'm sorry that I had to pull out the vocab on it, but I'm very particular with my words, so I use these. D tier is Don't Do This To Me Man, which is more bad than good. Can't really recommend it. Kind of disappointed for one reason or another. Not that many this year. I had a couple of real obvious ones last year, but this one was just kind of like, man, kind of a bummer. Not a good time. Can't get excited. And then we have E tier for Expedition 33 tier, just for Clear Obscure. And why does it have its own tier? Is because it won all the awards, man. It won so many awards, and now there's discourse. Yeah. There's discourse. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it right now. When I was doing my research on this, because I didn't want to be uninformed, but I wanted to do my research. It had like a very small amount of generated AI placeholder textures. And I don't think, like, and then they patched it out after the game shipped. I don't know, I couldn't find when they patched it out, whether it was like right after or in response to all of this. Admittedly, I've had a busy couple of days and I could not find that information. In any case, I also don't really feel like the use of Gen AI is really, how do I put this? I want to be on the record. I hate Gen AI. I have been in corporate environments where you are forced to start using a tool that you don't really like, or you're testing out something and you're trying to see if it works. We tried to use Gen AI at my job before I got laid off. I didn't like it. My boss didn't like it, but we still did it. There was technically content on the thing that we did. It was AP after backlash. Okay. In that case, so that's why I'm putting it in its own tier. It's because I just don't like talking about this. Because AI is also a term that is so broad as to be useless. Because, like, if somebody uses Gen AI to make, like, a PowerPoint deck for the marketing team who works technically, quote-unquote, on the game, is that in the game? Does that mean that Gen AI was used to support that game? I don't... And then, like, what about a developer who uses generative AI, but they train the AI, like, algorithm on only stuff that they make? So there's no stolen artwork, there's none of this. And then there's the whole energy thing, which is like you have all this stuff coming out. There was a Washington Post article which like massively overestimated it, but then people started using that article to say, look at how much water we're wasting. But then also energy companies were using that article to say, like, look how many more data centers we should be building, how many more energy things we should be building. You should contract my company. It's just it's too much. This is not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about games that I really like and why I like them, and maybe give a little bit of a pat on the back to the games that, like, yeah. Yes, many issues aside from simply work theft. And I want to be, again, very, very clear. And yes, the president of using AI overpaying actual artists and musicians. And I guess I only want to be clear. Looking at Clair Obscur Expedition 33, you can feel the humanity in that game very clearly. It is an authored game. They did not make any compromises that they were not already okay with. It was used back during the DALL-E era before everyone was aware of the hellscape. Yeah, exactly. It's like when a game is in development for 6 years, a lot can change. So, again, I'm not here to, like, get on my soapbox and be anti-AI, pro-AI, blah blah blah. I want to talk about fun games that I really like, and I feel like the more you dig into this issue, the more you just have to start having nuance and starting talking about the differences. So, to be very clear, fuck stealing work for the sake of training AI. I hate that. I think that is stupid. It's not just stupid, it's misguided, and it's putting the economy on the wrong path. You could argue that is part of the reason why RAM prices are so high right now. And I hate that. I hate that too. Awful. Even use, and that's my other issue, is that generative AI being used for placeholders is a bad thing. Because you don't want to have placeholders that can get mistaken for final assets. Like, it should be like a black and white rectangle that just has the word placeholder on it, and then let that cascade repeatedly, all over your 3D polygon, assembled level, so that you can easily spot, hey, that's a placeholder texture. I need to fix that before we ship the game. That's how I feel about that. I don't even know what the real story is. It's because the story is kind of unfolding and it's complicated, and it just makes talking about this difficult, which is why I'm going to stop. And we're going to talk about a different game. We're going roughly chronologically from, like, January 1st of this year and up to December 22nd, basically. And if it's a game that I've played, and if I finished it this year, whether it's on stream or off, if it's a game that I played this year, more than half of it, I would say, then it's on this list. And there are a couple service games on here that I played, and I was like, I either streamed it or I played enough of it to have an opinion. I wanted to build a PC, but the $1 billion company used puppy dog eyes, and now I pay 300% more. God. Yeah, I decided to just grab a couple sticks of RAM for myself, and it's going to take forever to get here, but I decided to grab them while they're still available. And hopefully I won't have to upgrade my computer for another few years at least. I really hope. But yeah. Should I make this bigger? Yeah, that looks better. That looks better. The rammer. Don't get me started. Don't even get me started on what I'll ram. I'll ram plenty of things. Okay, so I think I rated this last year, but it's good crossover stuff. Continuity. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. This is an Indiana Jones game by Machine Games, aka the makers of Wolfenstein. Is Blake Manor on the list? No, because I'm not done with it yet. So, unfortunately, that's going to wait till next year, because I don't think I'm going to finish it before 2025 ends. And I don't want to have an opinion on it. I don't want to put it on a list if I'm not done with it yet, or not solidly feeling good about where I want it to be. It's going to depend a lot on the ending, I gotta say. After the masked ball last time, I have no idea where the fuck this game is going to go. So, I can't commit to that. Indiana Jones, though. Guys, this is just Dishonored 4. Like, it's Indiana Jones, but it's a stealth game. You don't have magic, but you do have, like, adventure movie hero powers, which are basically magic. You can't teleport, but maybe that's okay. Maybe you could just enjoy an adventure. And to be honest, Indiana Jones, like, they nailed the vibe. It's gorgeous, like, a beautiful game. We were playing it on, I think, the PS5 when it came out. Did it come out on PS5? We have an Xbox in the house. We don't like using it because of Microsoft reasons. We're going on an adventure. We're solidly going to not finish. Yeah, exactly. Like, I know I'm gonna finish Blake Manor, so I don't want to rate it before I do that. But yeah, Indiana Jones. It's real good. I really like it. It's a very clear A tier for me, is what I would say. It's long. It loses the plot a little bit. It gets Indiana Jones games. I guess Indiana Jones stories have never been that long before, and you really feel like you're getting 2.5 movies worth of Indiana Jones. And there is a point, like, I went through and I tried to, like, as close to 100% it as I could. I liked doing that. I liked living in that world. I liked navigating it. I liked the parkour that you can do. I like the combat. I like the stealth. There's just so much that I really like about it, to the point where it is a front runner for Game of the Year. I haven't played the DLC though, because they want money for that, and I haven't bought it yet. Kitty photos, yeah, and you can take pictures of kitties. It has a camera. You can take pictures of kitties and other things, I guess. It's really good. I don't know, what can I say about it? I don't know. If you like first-person adventure games, check it out. If you like Dishonored games, check it out. It feels like it's kind of carrying the torch that Arcane had. Arcane, the studio, not the Netflix series. I really like it. I think it's great. Spoilers. The next game, Rise of the Golden Idol. I like that shit too. I think that's excellent. Now the problem is that Rise of the Golden Idol, it technically came out last year, like Indiana Jones, and I just happened to start playing it this year. And then all the DLC for this game released this year. So it's like, what? The main game had 15 cases or something like that. It's like 4 or 5 chapters of 3 cases each. I don't know, that's like 12 to... yeah, like 12 to 15. And then each DLC had like 4 or 5 more cases. It's ridiculous. It is so much interesting and like, you know, there's a right. There's some of the DLCs are better than others. It's hard to beat. Like, they definitely like led with the best foot forward. Sins of New Wells is maybe like the only one that I would consider like a sequel to the original, like the main game. I have a hard time wondering what they're gonna do if they release a third, like, for the trilogy. What a twist! Who could have seen it coming? You would think you would think I would rate it lower because of the amount of distress that I've gone through because of this game. This game has ruined me in some ways. I'm like banging my fists on the table. Please, don't make me do math again. But no, it's really good. I really like it. What can I say? It's very hard to not love this game. I feel like Neil should be here for Golden Idol opinions. I guess I could try and summon him. Is he busy? He's on mobile. I'm not gonna bother him. He might be like doing family stuff and for Crimbus things. But perhaps if we summon him together, let's all chant. I don't know what to say, but we'll chant. Chant your own chant, follow your heart, and summon Neil. But yeah, Res the Golden Idol, I don't know, it does everything that the first game did, but better. It goes in different places. It's not even like, I would even say not much of a murder mystery kind of game anymore, because it's not about like solving locked room murders. It's about getting a wildly, just completely strange image or like diorama and piecing together what happened based on everything that's in that diorama. And you, like, nothing, everything is just like a looping GIF. It just repeats the same action over and over. You're stuck frozen in this moment in time. And it's, you know, it's very much in the lineage of Obra Dinn, which is an incredible game that I wish I had been streaming for that one, because that was an interesting one. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just good. It's good, guys. Surprise, surprise. Rise of Golden Isle. Very good game. Would I put it higher than Indiana Jones, though? See, the thing is that Indiana Jones, both of these are like my shit. I love everything Indiana Jones does. Rise of the Golden Idol is like the detective game for me. I don't know.
Take two.
I don't know. Oh, treat time.
Xenobearbs casts a spell.
I haven't opened the package
Conjure a
yet.
treat.
Enjoy the ASMR. Ugh. There we go. I've opened the package. I am eating the treat. Oh my god, come on. How? I couldn't get my fingers around the little teddy bear. Alright, so. What's today's treat? It's a honeygram teddy bear. Someday I'll have another treat. That day is not today. Refreshing. I feel so fed, satiated. Man, I don't know. I guess I'll give the edge slightly to Indiana Jones, because what they managed to pull off with this game is just wild. It's incredible. Troy Baker does a better Harrison Ford impression than Harrison Ford does for his own younger self. That's crazy. Yeah, that's where I'm putting it. I'm on the website, so you're safe from making me... I mean, I'm fully expecting a lot of spell redeems today, because I've had costume redeems turned off for like 2 weeks for a variety of reasons. And so I wouldn't be surprised if somebody just shows up and like rips everything off. Does mobile not let you redeem spell rewards? That's kind of cringe. Twitch, that's cringe. Don't do that. Anyways, yeah. We're putting Indiana Jones in front of Rise of the Golden Idol. Even though Rise of the Golden Idol is probably like a better deal, you get so much good detective game content for like one game and a little season pass. See, you don't need to be on desktop to rip all of the clothes off. Anyways. You hear that, Kirill? I know you have thousands and thousands of points. You can make me cover them back up. On the app you can, but I'm on browser. I respect that. Not putting an app on your phone, that's spaced. Don't have the points for that yet. Only Kirill has the points for covering me up. Anyways, next one, Avowed. I played this a little bit on stream. I think I played like 4 streams of it, including the ending. I think I did the ending. I really enjoyed this one. Big surprise. I would put it below the other two, though. And it's partly because I really enjoyed it because it was a good, big RPG that didn't overstay its welcome. You can cover me. Oh, no. Oh, I see. But yeah, Avowed, like, I don't know, it just... How do I put this? It has a really cool magic system. Like, you get your first, like, destructive spells, your first spell book, and you're like, okay, I think I got my head around this. And then immediately just goes off the walls with, like, here's what all the different magic spells can do, and here's how you can change your mage build entirely. Every piece of legendary gear that's not just... Every piece of gear is relevant. That's what I really like about it. It's like, every time I got new stuff, it felt like it mattered. Like, the loot that I was getting wasn't just like, oh, here's another thing you can convert into materials that you can use to buy the thing you actually care about. And it has Garrus. Free Garrus with your Avowed. And you can date him, and he's very shy and cute, but like also tough and cool. Not a glass cannon. God, I did think that it does require a certain level of like build crafting to get through that last segment, that last area. I liked a lot of the new things they did, especially with like basically giving you 4 unique areas that all had their own like tier of adventure and difficulty and gear and stuff, so you could, and you know, getting into a new area, you start gearing up all the stuff that you care about. But if you wanted to, you can go around and you can pick up some materials and you can just upgrade everything that you actually care about, even a little bit. And then you could sell a bunch of shit. My only real issue was that I felt like the inventory capacity was a little bit low for all the questing and looting that you were doing. The legendary tomes were a little more interesting. Yeah, I could see that. I think the legendary tomes had a little bit of an issue with they needed to be powerful and useful for most people, and because of that, they kind of regressed back towards the mean of being like good but like practical but unspecial. It was bizarre, but I can't complain. I really liked it. I liked the story. The story was very good. I think it's probably the best story of a fantasy game that made me care about like the relationship between fantasy gods and their people. I think a lot of the times that like D&D stories kind of miss for me is that it's always just like, well, the story's decided by what gods matter in the game. And I'm like, why can't the story matter because of the people in the game? And this was the first time that I feel like the story mattered to the point where like the gods were interesting characters to learn about because of the mechanics of the story and how that mattered to your player character and your companions. It was very good. But it's not quite as good as the others because, I don't know, it just didn't quite strike it for me. I don't know. It did kind of peter out, I guess, at the very end. No. I think actually no. I take that back. I think it slogged a little bit in the middle. I think the like late of the third area, while interesting from a like the town was a very interesting area, it just was like not that different from the first couple areas, and the last area didn't really do anything that like special. I guess I should say like the dwarven volcano area didn't feel that one in the like razory beach area, like Paradise. That one felt like, oh, this is a unique like beachy foresty kind of area, whereas a lot of the later ones like they started to feel a bit samey. Here I planned on moving into work. Now I want to. You can't move me. I mean, I guess you could. You could dimension door me. I guess no one can stop you. In fact, the only problem with dimension door is that if somebody does enlarge or reduce right after that, I just go back to my same spot. It's sad. Have I said enough? Have I said my piece about Avowed? Is there anything else I want to say? I talked about the story. I talked about the gear system. Talked about Garrus. I mean, whatever his name was. The final area, the actual final area, the garden, was very cool. And I think that kind of boosted the game for me. Hello, Beefy. How you doing? Welcome. God, I'm 40 minutes in and I've only gotten 3 games. I gotta move on. We gotta move on from Avowed. Now we're on Pentiment. For those of you who can't see, Pentiment. You can see a little better over here. There's a guy doing a like very medieval manuscript, biblical manuscript, and I don't know, his head's floating with ideas. I'll put it back. One of the few people that played Avowed, from what I've seen. There's so many games to play this year. It was crazy. I played the other Obsidian game that released this year, Outer Worlds 2, and we'll get to that. But like the fact that they released 2 games this year is crazy. It's nuts. 2025 has been ridiculous. What was I gonna say? Pentiment. That's right. Hello, Micah. Hello, Beefy. Merry Christmas, Beefy. You're closer than I am to Christmas. Pentiment is a game that came out, I think, in 2022. Also, ironically, I was just talking about Obsidian games. Another Obsidian game. I actually played it because I think I finished Avowed and I was like, oh, hey, I still have an opportunity to play this game and I have some time to do it. So I did. And Pentiment is it's an RPG, but it's not combat. You just walk around, you talk to people, you solve their problems, you get to know this area, and it has these 3 acts. Like one where you're an artist who's working on his masterpiece, and you're working in this abbey alongside a bunch of like artistic monks who are working on manuscripts, and you're learning from them. And then crazy stuff happens. There is a body. It takes a long time to get there. And the story is very, I would say, it's uninterested in engaging you on the on the attention economy way, which I appreciate. It's a story that's willing to take its time, and it matters because the more you take your time, the more you walk around and explore and meet the people. Like, there's a mechanic of eating lunch with people. You every time you have lunch, when the day rolls around, it's like, oh, it's lunchtime. Who are you gonna eat lunch with? And it's like, you can eat lunch with the sisters over at the nunnery or whatever it's called. Hang on. I had to make a big cough. You can have lunch with the printing press family. You can have lunch with the farmers. You can have lunch with the abbot. Like, you can have lunch with basically anybody, and it matters. You learn things at lunch. It's really cool. It's also very much its own thing, and it's not really interested in being like the RPG for everybody. And it matters more to the people who are going to like that. And if there's any game that I was like, oh, I wish this was a book, it would be this game. But its visual style of being exactly inspired by those medieval manuscripts with those like kind of clunky looking creatures and human drawings and all that. I don't know. It tells a very impactful story. You can't get a golden ending. And in many ways, like, there is a murder, and that you are somewhat tasked with solving that murder, but it doesn't really matter whether you solve it. What's more, it's a more of a thing to be experienced than it is to be played. And it sounds so pretentious to say that, but like, it's fucking true, man. Like, if there's any game so far that I would recommend because I'm like, oh, this is equivalent to reading a really good book, I would say Pentiment. And I say all that, and I'm putting it in B tier. I'm sorry. It is better than most. But that's also the problem. Is like, I know a lot of people play games, and they don't play games to read books. But if you do play games to read books, if you are a visual novel enjoyer, Pentiment is better than your average, like better than a good visual novel, I would say. And you do have to run around, and you do have to talk to a lot of people. And it also has like very good sound design. Like, all the characters have like a writing, like their text bubbles have a format that matches what like matters to them. Like the church characters all have this like very big blocky churchy script, whereas the people who are less literate, you would say, they have like a little bit difficult to read scrawl that eventually gets erased and replaced with like something more legible. Who else? There's like the nobles have a fine fancy script that you can read also just fine. The printing press people, they actually like, they place blocks like backwards letters, and then the press prints on their text bubble, and it becomes like it becomes a whole like block of text as if it were like formatted on a printing press. It's great. The only visual novels I play involve bar furry dads. I don't think this game would be for my vibe. Unfortunately, I'm shaming you. Oh, you can't see it, but I'm pointing my finger of shame. You should read books. You should read texts for more than the furry dads. That being said, there are good ones out there that have bar furry dads. And you know what? I can't fault you for wanting to go see the pretty art. But I'm also, that's kind of low key. I'm like, this is why it's difficult to break into, I think, a little bit of the visual novel scene, is that it's like either you're going for the dating sim, or you're subverting the dating sim, or you're trying to do your own thing and nobody cares. Do they commit the sin of Comic Sans? No. There's no, I don't think there's like a like all of the typefaces were made for the game, and you can get the fonts in like the press kit or the fan pack or whatever that you can get from like the website. So like I could probably grab it. I'm sure it's on my computer somewhere because I was like fucking around. There's an incredible Pentiment like shitpost collection. Actually, let me see if I can find that real quick. Hang on. I want to show you this, but I don't want to go through all the results. Text post, Tumblr. You read books sometimes, not often. I mean, hey, if you let's see. How do I put this? If you think about all the time that you spend reading social media, especially stuff that you like probably already seen and you're refreshing, if you take half that time and put that towards reading books, you're probably gonna read a lot more books. Can I find... Where is it? That's gotta be in here. Oh, please. Yes! I found it. Okay, open. No, not that one. This whole thing right here. Copy link. We're opening it. Yeah. Okay. Kablam. It's just incredible. This is the visual. This is exact visual style for the game. Same whole like. This is the churchy script. This is the like reasonably educated person script. Where's that? There's like written script, and then this is the text of the printing press. And you got shit like one character saying, "Can you name all 59 women?" And the maker just fuck. I had no idea there were that many. Mary Magdalene, all that shit. These are all like based on like Tumblr shitposts too. Like what that tongue game like. Weak. Same goes for dick. Girl, I got that good for nothing. Leave me alone. Never enough time in the day to do fuck all. See? You eat, you work, you die. Bro, the ramifications. I forgot about the rammies, bro. Swag changed you. I just love this so much. Oh my god. This is I want to put this on my fucking like phone wallpaper. So you're trapped in my gay and stupid maze again. Oh, okay. What do you guys chat about? I've been doing shit. Either makes it the best edition or the worst edition to some ways true. As promised, Orc Chest totally not sus ad has pretty colors. I mean, I wouldn't. No, I could. I could pay. I could advertise for that. You'd guard the person I tagged you into on Blue Sky. Pressured me into reading more earlier. Well, he is a librarian orc, right? So that makes sense. Need social media to get all the spicy orc content, like orc cooking, orc books, WoW fanfiction, orcs. Yeah, spicy orc content, orcs eating hot peppers. Exactly. You guys got this. Oh, I could not handle the hot sauce challenge. I'm a baby. I'm so baby when it comes to hot sauce and the hot, like, spicy foods. I'm only just now getting to, like, stuff that's, like, 2 or 3 out of 10. And even then, I'm like, oh, man, I gotta drink a milk. I gotta drink a whole glass of milk. About the hot one set, I only did the second half, the spicier half, and survived. I'm so impressed, Kirill. 1% volume on the hot sauce. Yeah, please. I'm so baby. I'm proud of my progress. I have a long way to go. I genuinely believe honey milk doesn't do shit, but milk is supposed to do it. But I genuinely believe that I have like more sensitivity to spicy foods than most people. Oh, full fat milk. That's right. It matters. Anyways, we're going back. Blam. Anyway, I say all that, and Pentiment is great. Check it out. It's good, especially if you're a book liker. It's the game for book likers, and especially if you like historical fiction. It's also like a good historical fiction, and not here's a historical section where magic is real, and here's this, you know, conspiracy theory is real. It's like, you don't have to worry. Like, I'm looking at you, Assassin's Creed. I see you. I see what you do. You got away with it for a long time, but you're not gonna do it again. The protein casein in milk helps derive the capsaicin out of your tongue. See, that's science. Nodding sagely. But like, oh, you have spicy food? I'm impressed. Anyways, I've talked enough about Pentiment. Let's talk about Pseudo Regalia, which I am also going to put in B tier because it's really good. It's better than most games. I would not call it like. I think it's very good at achieving what it sets out to do. It's also a game jam game, and it, you know, you can get it on Steam for like $3. It has a great soundtrack, incredible soundtrack, honestly. But it's also only like 2 boss fights, and one's right at the very beginning, and the other one is at the very end. And it's very technical. It's very fun to watch speedruns of, but it's just not the kind of game that stretches itself into A tier for me. No one in my family can handle spicy food, but I was born with a defect. My tongue does not feel anything spicy. What? What must that be like? I'm so curious, because there's so many foods that I would like the flavor of if not for being spicy. And that would let me try all of them. You feel the effects of eating spicy food, but your mouth does not feel anything. Wait, so like, do your sinuses clear? Does that happen? I have to know. I have to know. Right, Pseudo Regalia. Lactose intolerant. So it's half the stream, probably. I feel like everyone I know is lactose intolerant. I might be lactose intolerant, but I don't even care. I just have a bunch of cheese. Right before you burn. Right, Pseudo Regalia. Yeah, B tier. Good. It's a good game. I think it doesn't feel like a game that wants to be higher than B tier. If that's, like, if I'm not being weird about it. Blushby finds out the 1 to 10 of Mexican food or Tex-Mex is weaker than I know about Thai food. I've tasted my husband's Thai food orders that he gets sometimes, and I know I can't handle them. Thankfully, the Thai food place near us, whenever we go, they have orange chicken, and they call it not spicy, but it's still spicy for me. But that's okay. I can handle that. You just had cereal 2 minutes ago. I'm baby. It's true. That's the funny part is like, aha, big orc titties, join my cult. But also, I'm baby. I contain multitudes. But yeah, Pseudo Regalia, I would put it B tier. Very well put together. Incredible 3D platformer. I think it's great. Fave Thai food. I don't know if I have a fave Thai food. I don't know. I can give you my favorite Vietnamese food. I have a lot more Vietnamese food. I really like the banh mi at our local Vietnamese place. This is some real Seinfeld ass music. What's going on here? Hang on, let me check this. Yeah, get out of there. Okay. Anyways, husband's favorite Thai food. I would need to ask him. I'll bother him. Let's see. Hi, babe. Chat wants to know what your favorite Thai food is. There we go. He's typing. Probably Masamun curry. Noted. There you go. I'll say thank you. Thanks, babe. There you go. Pad Woon Sen. I guess maybe Pad Thai. If they make it not very spicy. Ask the right question, then they'll bother. It's true. I don't like bothering him that much during stream, but if he gets to talk about food, he generally will respond pretty quick. You want to try Thai? You should. I recommend it. I'm a guy who can't handle it, but I was glad that I tried it. Let's see. Blueprints. Oh my god. Oh my god. So, here's the problem. Blueprints is a roguelike. And I love roguelikes, but roguelikes have a bit of a ceiling for me. Which is why I'm going to put it below Avowed. I said I didn't have blueprints on the live poll. Because I can't edit that, but I can edit this tier maker. The live poll does not have blueprints, I'm sorry. But blueprints is in my rating here because all I had to do was add an image. I'm putting it at low A. I'd consider putting it a high B as well. One of those reasons is because this game launched in what, March? In the spring. And they never implemented a colorblind mode. And that's my like hill I'm gonna die on. I am not personally colorblind. I was able to play the game and get to room 46. And that was enough for me to go, I'm satisfied. You know, I didn't feel like looping through it a billion times to get all of the content out of it. And I'm sure that is a very rewarding experience, but I was like, I have got other shit that I want to do and play, including Clair Obscur. What about room 67? I did not get to room 67. Oh wait, is this 6-7? Are we doing 6-7 again? 6-7. There, I did it. Clip that. You can have it. Save it, because I'll never do it again. I thought for a second that, like, oh, room 67, that has to be, like, some kind of next-level clear bullshit. But no. I like it a lot. I love hearing people talk about blueprints. Room 69? No one's allowed in room 69. Not on twitch.tv. I'm too old for 6-7. No. 6-7 is not meant to be understood. It is as shallow as it looks. Like, you know, there's nothing to be understood about 6-7. It just happens. It's like, it's less deep than you lost the game, which I would like to remind you is over. That game is done. XKCD ended it. As a Gen Z, let me tell you, 6-7 has no meaning. Pure absurdity, yeah. Exactly. So, blueprints. I like it a lot. I like the concept. I think it's very, the art style is beautiful. It has atmosphere out the wazoo. I love the way that it plays with its own concept. I love the way that you can manipulate things. I love how you think that you're just in the mansion, and then you're not in the mansion, and you're outside. You're exploring this whole like underground area. Like, I'm trying not to get too deep into spoilers here. And it is a game of discovery, and I love games of discovery. But I did hit a point where like the discovery was just a drip feed after enough, especially after room 46.
Take two.
We're out back at it again on the treat conjuring.
Nihibor casts a spell. Conjure treat.
Treat conjured. Ha! No one is too old. Exactly. I had to ask.
Take two.
At Thanksgiving, I had to ask an
That
actual
blue
child,
demon casts a
what does
spell.
6-7 mean?
Create water.
Oh, here we go. 6-7 is internet's version of Duchamp's fountain. I love that. I actually do appreciate that. That's good. That's good. Good job, internet. But yeah, I felt like I was being fed discovery, which is why I'm like, the more I talk about it, the more I'm putting it on like high B. I'm sorry. This is my hot take. Blueprints is good. It's not amazing. And I don't know, maybe I'm just the value of playing that game, it did not overcome the limitations of the roguelike. I personally felt like I had to play that game a lot to get to room 46 in order to get the run that would line things up properly. And I had a lot of failed runs where I didn't really feel like I learned that much. And in the beginning, you learn constantly. You discover new things everywhere. But there was definitely a point where I'm like, God, I hope I can make it this day. God, I hope I can do it this time. And I remember those feelings, especially off stream when I was like kind of just grinding for info. That one was, I don't know. It kind of killed the momentum for me in a lot of ways. And eventually I did my internet research. I did a little bit of digging. I like the lore behind the story and on discovering all of that. I love the way that the community talks about this game. But for me, the experience of playing it was a very high B. That's not bad. But it was not, I would put it in the same tier as these three. These three felt like all killer, only a little bit of filler. Whereas Blueprints, like, I felt like I started feeling the filler sooner. The worst part of the game is the roguelike elements. Exactly. And to the point where I'm like, if I could turn those parts off and have a slightly more curated, like, experience with getting to doing some of the like challenges that they lay out for you after hitting room 46, then I would consider, I don't know, I would consider putting it higher. And then the accessibility problem. That's just kind of what, but all of that pushes it down a little bit for me. But, you know, I heard that this got the Indie Game Awards Game of the Year, so good for them. And plus, yeah, still better than Dragon Age 4. Man, Dragon Age 4, man. I put that in C tier last year. My opinion has fallen. I probably would put it on a high D. I can't believe they did that to me. Yeah. Anyways. Expedition 33 tier. Oh, wait. I just got an ad break. Alright, we'll do the ad break, and then I'll talk about Expedition 33. A stupid notification. I see you. I see you, Twitch. I'm a weird freak that likes DA2 the most. I'm a weird freak, too. I like it the most. I like it a lot. It's a problem. It has its problems, but it's my sad little puppy that's broken, but I love it. I love DA2. I shouldn't. Like, Inquisition's a better game. Origins is probably a better game, but DA2 is mine. It's my favorite. I love it. It might be because of the Kunari. Anyways, quick break. I'm pretty sure we're back. Making Cullen straight is a stretch. I agree. Cullen, I feel like you know Cullen had to have Black Wallace to me is what Cassandra is to lesbians. Man, yeah, I would have hit Blackwall if I could. But yeah, Cullen. I feel like Cullen definitely explored some brothers in arms bodies, or he and his brothers in arms at one point must have explored each other's bodies. And just something about him, he just acts like the man who knows more than he's letting on. Being forced to be straight is because of his oh yeah, meh, bummer. But I'm also like, I guess, don't make voice actors do things they're not comfortable with. That also tracks. There we go. I had to restart the music. Where were we? Oh, that's right. Clair Obscur Expedition 33. So, I said my piece about the current discourse. I'm going to rewind time back to before the VGAs, essentially. When we were still, when we were just talking about it. And I still really like this game a lot. I'm putting it in its own tier because that's what it was designed for. Oh, you missed it. Well, I didn't talk about it that much. I just said we've already talked to 9 of them. What the fuck? Why is Twitch? What are you doing? Twitch, what's happening? You didn't tell me that. You shouldn't be running 9 ads. What the fuck? Anyways, we're not. So I at the beginning of the stream, I went through all the reasons why I'm putting it in its own tier, largely because it already had a bunch of awards, and now there's a big, hullabaloo about the use of a couple placeholder textures that had Gen AI on them, and that's still happening. And those placeholder textures were bad. They were not good to use somewhat final-looking textures as placeholders, and using Gen AI for that is a bad idea. We're going to rewind time. We're not going to talk about it. What time Twitch gave me? 30 minutes? What the fuck? That's cringe. So anyways, we're rewinding. It's now before the Game Awards. We're talking about this game without any discourse at all. And you know what? Surprise, surprise, I love it. I really like this story. And again, but there are a lot of games that are not willing to do what this game's story is willing to do. It is not, it is a killer hook. The whole idea of we send people on expeditions to go stop the Paintress from slowly whittling away our entire world of people, oldest to youngest 1 year at a time. Neil. I mean, you should have heard me talking about Blueprints and also Golden Idol, because technically that's this year too. Can you believe I ranked Golden Idol higher than Blueprints? Maybe he can't. Maybe he already left. As is his right. No one. I'm not owed any attention from any of you. You're late because you were cooking. That's reasonable. But long story short, my issue with Blueprints was that the roguelike elements prevented it from having good staying power for me after a certain point, and I don't like that the accessibility for colorblind people is still, in the works after having more than 6 months of time to roll that out. That's true. But yeah, Clair Obscur. I really like the story. I really like the art direction, the presentation. I really like the battle system. I love the way that you can craft builds in this game. I love that skilled action gameplay kind of lets you go a little bit further than maybe you're supposed to. It's really it's good. It's good. I love it. I love this game. But it's going in its own tier because we're not putting it in competition with any of these other games anymore, because it's already competed and it has its own conversation happening. So it's going to continue having that conversation. We're paying attention to these other games. But I would like to at least make it known I really like this game. I think that they achieved something incredible, and the OST especially is amazing. Give it a listen sometime. Especially the Monoko's song and what was the other one? Goblu. Goblu. The underwater boss. That's a good one. I love that one. At least Bungie ate crow and paid the artists they stole from their game. Yeah, God. I really like that aesthetic too. It was really a bummer to find out that, oh, this person basically developed the whole aesthetic and Bungie just used it for Marathon. Oh, that's lame. But I haven't played Destiny 2 in over a year. I think I still haven't played since Final Shape came out, and I'm okay with that. I have too much other shit to worry about to play Destiny again. Monoko S tier, so true. He was my favorite character. So yeah, I don't know. It's a great game. I want to see more games like this where you collect party members and you swap them out turn-based style a little bit of like maybe one action element, Paper Mario style or Mario RPG style. I feel like there's a lot of games out there that are like action adventure games where you play as one character and it's got RPG progression, and I'm like, cool, let's flip that. Let's have an RPG like type character that has more RPG type game where you collect more characters and they all have their own little like mechanic, and that's, you know, essential to proceeding in the game. It's like, let's do more of that stuff. Because like we have like God of War and The Witcher and like you're all this stuff where you play as one character. And you get a gun. Bonus, you have a gun. You can just use that. Anybody can do it. FF7 or FF10 too. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Also FF8 and FF9. Like, I don't know about FF12. 13 also does that. I liked 13. It's not amazing, but I liked 13. I certainly liked it more than a lot of people. What old Y2K postmodern RPG tried to do, but people got sick and tired. I've heard that game is like better than a lot of people make it out to be, because the protagonist is unlikable, and people think that like because the protagonist is unlikable, the devs must be like, not that the devs must be bad people, but like the experience of playing the game is awful. But I'm also like, sometimes art has a central character that sucks. 13.2 is stellar. I did not have that experience with 13.2. 13.2 was the one that I was like, I can't do this. I couldn't. I liked 13 more than either of the sequels, personally. But I think I feel like it was less goofy. I think the sequels got a little bit goofy. And also I think that the art direction was a little bit better on the original 13. It was bad, but this year the game got an update, which also makes the game so much better. Ah, maybe I'll play that on stream sometime. Because I've heard that like having a central character who like he feels like an answer to Scott Pilgrim almost. Whereas like Scott Pilgrim kind of he saw the world through his like video game culture and understanding it, and got better when he like accepted the humanity behind all of the other people in his life. Y2K doesn't quite. Like, it takes that and has a somewhat more sad, tragic angle to it. I don't know too much. I'll admit. Why do I have a Risk Meets Settlers of Catan game in my wish list? Which one is that? Let me check. Is it Frostpunk? Or is it Scythe? Scythe. I don't remember. Oh. Shut the fuck up. I don't remember why I added this to my wish list. I think someone said that it was really good. Now I'm not feeling it. I think I'm just gonna quietly take it off my wish list. Sorry. I think, yeah, somebody recommended it to me, but that was back when I was like really trying to get into board games. The devs were also kind of asked, like, fool themselves when people criticize them. Well, excuse, we're trying to be artistic. Yeah, I don't love that. But I don't know. I remember seeing like a Planet Clue video on YouTube about it, and they seem to be really into it. And you know, maybe the devs aren't great at PR, but anyways, I've been rambling. Let's get back on track. Doom, the Dark Ages, unquestionably my favorite Doom game. This is my game. It was kind of made for me. I love this game. I'm putting it slightly above Avowed. Not Y2K, but more like Yeek in the famous. Did they really call it Yeek? That's crazy. That's crazy. Fireball, freeze, Doom. I love that video. I want to play Major Arena. I want to coerce Kirill and Neil to play Major Arena with me, so that I can yell Fireball and blow them up. Fireball! I'll be so good at it, you guys. 300 more and all as long for RPGs with very complex skill trees. I would love to see an RPG, like a turn-based RPG that's just like a whole bunch of different orcs. Hey Albie, how you doing? Good to see ya. I was just putting Doom on my list here, and I put it in between Golden Idol and Avowed. I really like Doom, you guys. I really like Doom. I couldn't stream it for much because it had some real issues with OBS, and then I just kind of loved playing it after that. Get Orcmage with the Path of Exile. Oh my, that's too much. That's too much for me. I can't have that much of a skill tree. Yeah, we put Expedition 33 in its own tier because it got enough awards already, and now there's discourse, and I'm done talking about it. Do I feel the Doomslayer is asexual, or does he fuck? That's a good question. I feel like he's gotta fuck. But I think he's not, like... I get the impression he's, like, he fucks, but he doesn't flirt. I see him as, like... He's Aero. I think Aero is... That's how I see him. He's not interested in romance. He's interested in killing demons. I think he does fuck because, like, it's just a good way to let off the steam after you're done killing a bunch of demons and you're on, you know, on break time. But, like, he's just, that's what he does. That's my interpretation of him, at least. Wait, what else? Which one did I miss here? I'm trying to... Whoop! I clicked out of the window. There we go. Oh, right, Robin Morningwood. Who does he fuck? Who was the hot king guy in the Dark Ages? I'd like to think that he fucks that guy. The other guy with, like, the DILF. You know who I'm talking about. Also that guy, I guess. Although, personally, I don't think the assistant guy is that... I don't think he'd get it. I don't think he would understand the Doomslayer the way that the king guy would. I think he's also, like... I think he's pansexual. Like, he doesn't really care. He just likes the fucking. But he's not... He's just aromantic. That's what I say. That's my interpretation. Anyways, really good game. Classic Doom gameplay. Fixed all the problems I had with Doom Eternal. I love the, like, grounded combat. I love being an armored tank. I love the way the shield bash mechanic works. I love the movement. I love the shield sawing through enemies and bouncing off each other, and like it does what God of War did for the axe, but it does this for the shield, and it like makes it just explode with potential, and they use it so much. I love the dragon. The story, mainly because of the dragon, I think is actually why like it kind of engaged me more than I thought it would. It's easier to follow than I thought too, and there's also like a lot of variety in the levels. There's a lot of like variety in especially the back half, but in like the shape of the levels, like where you go, like I can't read that. Oh right, that's because there's a goalie. Yeah. I don't know. I don't love the phrasing, but that's not anyone in particular. Where was I at? What was I doing? Don't be mean to Torbeck. But Torbeck's whole existence is to be mean. Like, I'm sorry. Like, okay, you want a hot take? You want a hot take? I like Frost more than Torbeck. I think Frost is a funnier character. No, that's not true. I think all of them are funny, but I resonate more with Frost. Yeah, he wants being mean so bad. Like, he's such a sad sack character, it's hard for me to, like, get into it with him. It's like, there's something weird about this going on, and I don't know if I want to be involved. It's enrichment. Forgive me, but I went for the Tiger Furry. Also, the Tiger Furry is a caster, and I like the casters. And also, I like Frost's jokes more. There's so many bits with Frost that are hilarious to me. Like when he gets the Sphere of Annihilation. God, that's fucking incredible. Masochist, yeah. Alright. Did I say enough about Doom? I like the story. Love the gameplay. I wish it ran better enough to stream it again. Maybe I'll do like a speed run someday of it. Used to like Gideon for obvious reasons, but I started really liking Kremny. Yeah, I could see that. They're all pretty good, honestly. Like Frost, but you identify with Bitsy. I don't identify with Bitsy, but I do like Bitsy. I think Bitsy is secretly the funniest character out of that whole crew. Like we enjoy our jokes, but Bitsy's crazy. Bitsy has the best bits. Oh, here we go.
Axion casts a spell.
I knew it would happen.
Destroy
I knew it
costume.
would happen. I called it. Eh. Oh. Boy, that was some lag. That was, You okay? You guys okay in here? Let me check my computer's performance. Open up Task Manager real quick. Okay, now we seem to be alright. I wonder why there was so much lag there. Uh-oh! Oh my god. Beefy.
Beefy Tusks casts a spell.
How could you do this,
Cover them up.
Beefy? Oh my god. This is homophobic. Wait, hang on. I'm gonna... What? There we go. I'm a little bit higher now. On my chair. I'm adjusting. You feel oppressed? I'll tell you what. I'll refund you the points. Because you didn't even get 30 seconds out of it.
Falden casts a spell.
Hang on.
Reduce person.
I have to refund you the points from the same browser window that I'm in. And now I'm tiny. Okay. Yeah. Mark is complete. Reject and refund points back to user. There we go. Nobody say jar. There's no jar. There is no such thing. We don't have any. I got very little out of the dimension door. Wait, you got a dimension door? I don't see anything. I don't see a dimension door. How will I store my jelly? In a mason container. That's what you're gonna do. Anyways. Back to business. There we go. God, I'm so little. And apparently I'm accidentally, hang on. Let me just scoop myself down a little bit. There we go. Better. No! I need to be able to breathe. Please. Okay, where are we at? Where are we at? Fuck. Fuck shit. I talked about Doom. I like it. I'd give it a shot. I hope it goes on sale, especially once all the boycotts for Microsoft are not needed.
Beefy Tusks casts a spell.
Oh, thank you.
Create water.
I think I owe Blue another create water. I might have missed that. I'm sorry, Blue. That's all from you today? Okay. Understandable. Wow. Beefy came in, he put my clothes back on and gave me water. Okay. We're doing this.
Squippet casts a spell.
Ah.
Conjure treat.
Came, you yapped, you watered my streamer. Good night. Good night, Beefy. Thank you for dropping by. I'm back. There we go. Why am I... Oh, it's because I didn't calibrate. Hang on. There we go. That's a little better. Catch me in glasses, let a piece of paper put me outside. No! I need to sleep indoors. I'm an indoor cat. Octopath Traveler 2. This game, I started streaming in 2023. Because it came out in 2023. And I finished it in 2025. And you know what? C tier. I thought Cell was an indoor cat. I mean, he is too. You played Octopath Traveler 0? I've heard that is the, like, fixed version of the mobile game that I never bothered. I also heard that it's like 90 hours long, and I feel like that's just too much for me. Especially after 2, because one of my issues with 2 was that a lot of the storytelling was better, but it only got good after the first 2 chapters. Is it long? It is long, okay. Now what happens if you fireballs close and embiggen him? Well, you can't do them both at the same time. But if you fireball my clothes and then embiggen me, I will be large and clothless. I'm a weird freak that liked Octo 2 more than BG3. So, here's another hot take. I really liked BG3 until Act 3, which felt very like stapled together, barely functional, and I just could not find the right way to engage with the story there. Like, no matter where I went and what I tried to do, it felt like I was being told to go do something else. And it was very difficult. Was Rex sleeping in his underwear, or is he a naked sleeper? Depends on the weather. But I would say typically he sleeps in his underwear. That's my... no further context. But yeah, I'm putting Octopath Traveler 2 in C tier because great music, but great music does not get you a crazy good game. Like, I will continue to use Octopath Traveler music in my RPG, like in my tabletop games, because it's great and it's wonderful for that. But, and especially since it has a day and a night theme, and the day and the night mechanic was cool, but like, it just wasn't, like, the gameplay was good, but not enough of it served the story. Back 3 PG3 feels like a bit like too much game. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. It's just, it loses a lot of focus, and there's some cool moments, but like, I had a real tough time just like navigating Act 3. Act 3 feels like it's a sequel to the first 2 acts. Like, it's a whole nother game. And in one way, that's really cool, but in another way, that's a lot. It's overbearing. Octopath Traveler 2, I think, is actually kind of similar in that there is so much game in Octopath Traveler 2, and then there's also these, like, crossover stories between certain characters that, like, hint at the idea of them, oh, they're all, like, hanging out and talking to each other, but none of them are present for the other's, like, important moments. They're not, like, listening to each other when, or asking for advice when making big decisions. They're not, like... It's just not... Like, and then the very end... Which, after you do all of their chapter 4s or their chapter 5s or whatever, you complete all their stories, and then you do a couple of the, like, the extra side stuff that you have to do in order to unlock the ending. The ending is really interesting. Why isn't the rest of the game like that? Like, that had so much potential, and like, and it's like, oh, this is the fully realized version of this game, and it is locked behind 60 hours of content. And I don't like that. But, like, the presentation, top-notch. The gameplay, pretty good. I think that it's still one of the better, like, turn-based JRPG gameplay mechanics, especially with the way that the shield system works. It's kind of like Stagger without having to fill a Stagger meter. And I like that the boost was, like, basically stolen from Bravely Default, right? I'm pretty sure it was. But yeah. I know that's where I put Octopath Traveler 2, is because after like 70 hours I finished that and I was just like, I don't know if I really got like 70 hours worth of quality time. I feel like I played 70 hours of pretty good at best and mid. You don't need to default to get boost. Yeah, exactly. Like, you can, using the pomegranates is enough to get you an extra BP, or having a merchant donate BP. I love the way that interacted. That was very cool. And I like that enabled a lot of other strategies. Like, again, the gameplay was good. But my issue was really more that it overstayed its welcome by a lot, and it saved its best parts for last after you waited a really long time to get there. Like, with 1, sure, you got, like, this kind of tease at the end, and that was only if you finished them all. But that at least felt like I wasn't missing out by not doing it. It was also ridiculously hard, that boss fight. Whereas this game, 2, was more like, you could probably finish this boss fight. Like, if you can finish all the other routes, you can finish that boss fight. Let's see. Mars Vice, a game I played in 2 streams. Was it first person? I guess it was. It was like half visual novel, half detective game, a little bit of... I guess a little bit of investigating. There wasn't really that much deduction happening. It was more of I would say a first-person, like, point-and-click adventure kind of thing. There weren't any weird puzzles, though. Our Disaster Boy Lion. It's true. I loved what was going on in this world. However, I'm going to put it at C tier. Mainly because, and, like, again, not a bad game. In fact, I encourage you to check it out if you haven't played it. Especially if you like the idea of a disaster trans man as your, like, lead character. My issue was a lot more tied to how the ending resolved. And I don't want to get too deep into spoiler territory, but like, I didn't like I wanted Disaster Boy Lion to struggle a bit more with what was going on in the ending. But the ending played out basically in the way that he said it was going to play out. And that's still, it did feel like, we had to finish the game. And this is what we had to do to finish the game. And it had interesting things to say, or at least to start saying, but I feel like it didn't have a follow-up that it needed to end on a good beat. I feel like it ended on, the ending is the weakest part of the game. The world building is the strongest. I liked the writing in general. There were a couple little typos that I spotted, but that's just how I am. I wanted to, I guess the thing is I appreciate more for what it's trying to do than what it does. And I think that's a good thing to do, especially for new developers. I think, and I want to see what this team does next a whole lot. I love what they put together already. They had a hell of a marketing campaign. They stitched together all of their animated sequences, and it looked incredible. And honestly, even just the regular first-person gameplay was still really cool. I love the character designs. I like the world that they built. I keep saying that. I love the world that they built. But my issue really comes down to there was a lot of potential, and it just kind of stops. I feel like it didn't really explore a lot of the themes that it could have explored in the ending. But yeah. And is that everything I have to say about Mars Vice without spoiling anything? It had a really good soundtrack. I like the soundtrack. A lot of these have really good soundtracks, I will say. Game music has just really been exploding in quality lately. But yeah. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good about the pace that we're going. We've got about half these games through. I remember playing Mars Vice in July. Got plenty of these other games coming through. When I think about the soundtrack of my E-tier game, I loved it. It's incredible. It's probably the best soundtrack of the year. It's amazing. A resolution that resolved nothing. Well, no, it's not true. I think thematically it was left untethered. But plot-wise, it was resolved. It was very clear. But that's the thing, is I think it was too easy. They find essentially one party that is responsible for most of the problems. And I don't know, it was too simple for a complicated narrative that they were starting to lay out. I felt like there was going to be more crunch to the story that was about to happen, especially once we started getting towards those later parts. Lacking much meaning? No, well, I would say it just felt like it was missing the last 20% of the story that needed to be there. And it had things to say. It said them in an interesting way. It was presented very well. I liked the relationship between the characters. It wasn't even that it's different than leave them wanting more. It felt a little incomplete. It felt it was it crossed the finish line, but it didn't, get on the medal stand. That's what I would say. Cromulent, bold choice of words. Thank you. I like calling things cromulent. That's kind of how I feel. It's cromulent. It did everything. It did the thing that it would promise to set out to do. This one, these two in particular, Mars Vice, I wanted it to be a little bit longer for what it was tackling, and Octopath Traveler 2, I wanted it to call it. I wanted it to be shorter than what it was promising. Essentially, he's calling it fat. That's corpulent. Yeah, that's corpulent. It's different. It was decent, but not. Well, that's the thing. I don't want to say it was unsatisfactory. I was satisfied with what I got, but the opportunities that they had and weren't able to take for whatever reason. That's what I was like. I wanted this to do more because I think it wanted to do more too. I don't know. I don't want to just sit here and shit on an indie game. Basically, it doesn't. I want to see what these developers will do. I really, really want to see what they'll do next, because I really liked where they went with this, and I want to see them have the potential to do more. A 300k word fanfiction. Don't even give... I've done it before. I'll do it again, probably. Who knows? Anyways, time to shit on a game. Double XL Wolfia. Don't do this to me, man. I wanted to like this game. I want it satisfied but not left satiated. Yes. I would say, yeah, it's the difference between having a meal for the sake of eating a meal and having a meal for the sake of, like, having a feast. Like, you go in expecting a feast, you're going to be disappointed. You go in expecting a good round meal, you're going to be fine. F tier gotcha, TBH. Yeah, boy. Oh. I wanted to like Double XL Wolfia, but man, the gameplay is just not there. I didn't... Like, I played it for a good solid month. I was sticking with it. I was like, okay, let's get through... Oh, you know, the story? It's a little bit more. There's more to it than I expected. Yeah, MRE versus Mom Spaghetti. There you go. Like, meanwhile, Double XL Wolfia is fucking a bag of Lays. Of course, someone says that Love in Deep Space is not... I don't even know what Love in Deep Space is. I didn't play that. I did play Double XL Wolfia, and I didn't spend any money on it, and I'm sure I'm glad I didn't. Because, boy, this game wants so much from you. It really... And I'm not gonna lie, it excels at being, like, erotic entertainment. The problem is, that's the only thing it really excels at. Yeah, it runs well. I'm impressed at that, too. I would say, like, the game would be better without any of the, like, RPG gameplay. But then what do you summon the characters for? I want a homosexual video game that doesn't suck. Same. I would like for there to be... Well, you know, okay. I really like... If you want to play a good, interesting homosexual video game, I would recommend checking out Willy Bear Beach... for the, like, I would say for the vibes. Like, check it out. There's X-rated stuff, there's G-rated stuff. It's very, like, slice of life. I like it a lot. I would recommend checking that out because it feels like those characters are a lot more fully realized, and you get to have this, like, get to know the sense of space and the people that are in it. And similarly, Memory Leak from the same devs, which is 18+, and I'm just going to say that. It has a lot of really cool world building and a lot of, like, cool bad end, like, themed around a bunch of sci-fi, cyberpunk, dystopia stuff. And I think, again, it excels at what it sets out to do. It's not a super rich gameplay experience because it's more of, like, a choose-your-own-adventure, like, explore the branching paths. But, like, those are the two games I would say, check those out before you necessarily... like, dive into a gacha. Because these gacha games, I don't, like, they're already on thin ice for having this, like, you know, for having this strained relationship with their users. Because you can't be free to play without also trying to extract value from your players. Like, there's just, that's not ever gonna work. You can't just make a game that everyone plays for free, especially if you want to try and make a living off of it. However, if you try to make it playable for free, then there's constant tension about how can I ask the player for money. And Double XL Wolfia has that problem. Wolfia is the really horny furry gacha. Yes. It's like there's great character designs. I know that because for some reason, whenever they release a new character that everybody likes, my feed gets flooded with fan art of them. And I'm like, cool. I like the fan art, I guess. But also, I don't want to play the game. The game is just... I don't want to play it. I don't like playing it. It's stupid. It feels insipid, is what I would say. Took some Twine... I have some Twine games. Yes. I would recommend checking out Twine if you have never checked it out. It's a great way to have interactive fiction and keep them nice and short and the scope feasible. Hello, Kipasagi. Nice to see you. Meanwhile, I'm over here playing Grand Blue Fantasy. Yeah, we'll get to my other gacha game on this list, which I have streamed. Derogatory. Don't play it, just sip the fan art. Yeah, see, exactly. But that's the problem, is like, that's my issue, is that the fan art is good, but are the people who make this fan art, are they working on this because they really love it? Are they working on this because they know it'll capture like audience? Which you will be dragging. We'll drag it together. It's so I don't know. I was just disappointed with XXL Wolfia. Like, I was able to get a lot of characters like on the free to play like track, but the act of playing it was so just like not enjoyable. It just says like, okay, cool, you got a little vertical banner and it slides up and it makes a sound effect of hitting, and the every character is the same looping animation where, you know, the physics bounce. I'm a hypocrite, but whatever. I'm not charging you for this. You get this for free. You can have it. Tokyo After School Summers on mobile, Gayest Bar. Yeah, I wanted to, again, same problem for me though, is like, the story was more involved than I expected. I respected that. But the basic gameplay did not engage me at all. Like, if I'm going to play a game, I want it to be a fun game. And I feel like a lot of these games don't really hit that spot for me. And maybe that's just because I don't really like a lot of gacha mechanic style games. Like, I've never really been into any of the other ones, especially like Hoyoverse games. I haven't touched a single one because they just don't look that fun to me. I tried Dislike for like a couple weeks and it didn't work. I tried that weird pinball one. I liked that one for like a month, but again, it's like, it just, the FOMO from not playing for even a couple of days just feels so bad. Why can't we have horny games that are actually fun to play? I wish I do. I feel like they should be out there. Well, I was just talking about, that's what I was just talking about with Willy Bear Beach and Memory Leak. Those are two horny games. One more horny than the others. That are actually fun to play. Okay. Let's move on. I'm done shitting on XXL Wolfia. We're moving to Back to the Dawn. I haven't finished this. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I feel like I've played enough of it to have a take. But I would actually put it like low B tier. I think it's a pretty impressive immersive sim, which is presented like a top-down RPG. But it's like secretly, like, you have to juggle a lot of like stats and a lot of things going on, and you have to be mindful of your time. And it's very like, you have to manage your resources very carefully. But that's what makes it very engaging. And it's part of why, like, it takes a long time to pull off what you need to pull off. Part of why I haven't come back to stream it is because I'm pretty sure I've already fucked my playthrough. And I kind of want to start a new one. And it's like, if I start a new one, then I want to play a different character. But if I play a different character, he's going to be harder, so I should finish that. So that's why I get stuck in this loop of, like, I should play that again, but I'm not gonna. Mormons is the closest I've gone to a fun-to-play gacha that is a tiny bit horny. Well, horny in the way that we like it. Morning Wood. I see, I gotta check out Morning Wood. People keep talking about that one. I think I'll give it a try. Maybe someday. Off stream. Can't get away with that on Twitch. Anyways. Queer man peering into a rock pool. .jpg. It's like an hour long and artsy. Did they put that in the MoMA? Did they put that in the MoMA, Kiro? You have to tell me. You have to tell me. like if you forgot. Does anyone remember Dream Daddy? Yes. Staring off into the distance. I remember Dream Daddy. They didn't put it in the MoMA, but they should. Play loop is very grindy. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. Dream Daddy makes me wish I was heterosexual because I didn't like it. I think... It's another one of those games I wanted to like. I wanted to like Dream Daddy. I kind of, again, I think I like respected what it was trying to do more than what it did. I don't even necessarily wish it was hornier. I just wanted, like, it felt like it was a little bit too much of a goofy shitpost on dads. And then you get past that and you like engage with the dads on a more character level, but then it's like depending on which route you did. Felt like it was for the Fujoshi crowd. Yeah, I could see that. It definitely... It had a certain Fujoshi gaze to it. It may not be for me. And if there was... And the other thing was, like, I also remember people getting really up in arms about, like, oh, it's the Game Grumps game. Why'd they make such a weird gay game? But, like, it's not for gays. They're not... I'm already so tired of this. And then there was that weird, like, leaked content thing, and then everyone started getting all up in arms over, is this problematic or not? And I'm just like, stop. Date everything feels like a better Dream Daddy. That's the thing is, so here's my hot take. I just don't like dating sims, man. I want my game to be, like, I don't want to gamify relationships unless it ties into the central, like, conflict of the adventure that's happening. Discourse Daddy. Exactly. That's what it turned into. Robert was the one I liked most, whatever the bad boy's name was. I think it was Robert. But yeah. Anyways, back to the Dawn. And it's another one of those, like, I recommend it, especially for furries, because this is a really good furry game in the sense that, like, this feels like it could have taken place in, like, the Zootopia world in a way that is better than Zootopia, if I'm being honest. And it's the whole, like, managing all of your resources, trying to, like, push towards this goal of getting out of prison, knowing that you're, like, you've been blackmailed into it, or that you've been not blackmailed, that evidence was fabricated against you, basically, and, like, pursuing all these paths of progress. It's really fun and fascinating. I really should pick it back up. Maybe I will. Maybe soon. I might actually put it about with Pentiment. Between Pentiment and Pseudo-Regalia. That's where I'll put it. Oh boy. This next one's tough. How do I tell people how I feel about Umineko When They Cry question and answer arcs, which I did both this year? It's good. Spoilers, it's good. You might think, isn't that the most book-like visual novel that you could ever possibly read, considering that there is a complete manga adaptation that you can read from start to finish? And I say yes. But if you don't realize that you're playing a game with the author when you're reading Umineko, then you're not going to get anything out of it. So it is a game. The text, this is the text, like, when I say text, I mean, like, in the artsy-fartsy liberal arts, professor way. This text is playing a game with you, and it is so layered and so specifically about playing a game with you that it can't not be a game, which is why it's in the game list. And you know what? It's really good. Again, it's really good. Now, we've had a few, like, I would say mids and clunker related discussions for a little while, so I don't feel uncomfortable putting it. I would actually put it. Yeah, I'd put it up there. I put it right here in between Indiana Jones and the Golden Idol. Definitely longer than both of those. I don't know. I've never gotten... It's been a long time since I've, like, did a really deep reading of something and gotten, like, the value out of it as I did with Umineko. It's really good. It takes, I would say, two full, like a full quarter of the experience. I put it higher than... Yeah, it's good. It's higher than Golden Idol because it's good. Like, unfortunately, it's probably the best detective game I've played this year. But it's also, like, it's not a detective game in the way that Golden Idol is. Umineko is, like... The meme is peak fiction. I don't know if I would go that far. There's a lot of fiction out there. But I would say it's incredible. I would say it's one of the best... it's the best visual novel I've read. Hands down. And I would say it's not for everybody. But if you like murder mysteries, you should play it. If you like horror anime, you should play it. If you like, if you like just the sheer concept of a Japanese man who's so obsessed with the English that he builds his own English manor on a private island, you should play it. It's very, very good. And every character feels like a real person, to the point where you're going to have multiple times for each character, you're going to have your opinion about that character flip on a dime and be like, oh, I hate this character. Oh, I love this character. Oh, I hate them now. And then it all kind of comes and melds back together into being, oh, this is a complicated person who I can't just simply love or hate for whatever reason. You know, I see why they did what they did, and now that by understanding them better, I have a richer understanding of what it meant to read this story. I sound like such a nut job right now, but it gets so good. It's like, if you are willing to meet this, if you really, like with Umineko, if you are willing to meet it halfway and engage with the weird text that it's giving you, especially since, like, it in the game, if you get halfway through, they're like, you have everything you need to know to figure out who the culprit is behind everything that you've seen. And you're like, one person can't possibly be behind everything. Yes, one person can. One person perhaps was. But we have the cat box issue about that, so I won't dive into it. Just hate everyone equally. See, it's a very W.C. Fields way to think about it. But you can start out hating everyone equally, but you will start hating some people more, and then you'll start pitying those people. Yeah, I don't love talking about the anime, but the opening to the anime is pretty incredible. I have not played the fighting game. I heard people really like the fighting game. Have I said enough about Umineko? Have I said all my pieces? If you decide to read the manga, which I don't blame you for trying for reading the manga over playing the visual novel. I think they are pretty equivalent until you get to the 8th volume. If you do that, if you finish the 7 volumes of the manga, then just play the 8th visual novel episode. It was you. You did it. You did what? I forget. I'm already... What's the full name of the manga? Umineko When They Cry. I'll put it in. There's the question arcs and the answer arcs. They are technically 2 games. You can get them on Steam, but I would also say check out the 07th mod. When They Cry. Also, 07th mod. There we go. If you're going to do that, especially if you get the Steam version, I'd recommend doing that. Also, the whole manga is on the Internet Archive for free. Don't tell anybody I told you, but if you just want to read the manga, you could totally do that. Read the manga, play the soundtrack in the background. You're pretty close to the experience, to be honest. When They Cry is honestly go to... Yeah, I mean, it's... for real, it might get up there. And it didn't even release this year. Might be up there. Alright. I think I've said my piece. You a soda anime? No. Do not watch the Umineko anime. Watch the opening. Enjoy the opening. Perhaps even enjoy the ending song. Do not watch the content of the anime. It is bad. It is unfortunately an extremely condensed version of the story, which ruins the whole point. And I'm glad they didn't even finish. They got through 4 episodes of the visual novel, and it just never got renewed, which is great because it just means that you should start over and read the manga, or just play the game. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. Here we go. Castle Crashers Remastered. I had not ever finished Castle Crashers until I played it on stream for our little Orctober fun time with me and Kirill and Neil, and that was a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. That said, I don't think it's aged particularly that well. I think we got a lot of fun value out of it being our characters as the main thing, and it's kind of a classic, but it's like also, I don't know. I think that the team that made this game has made better games, I think A tier for the Tyrell jump scare. I can't elevate it that high. Not for the Tyrell jump scare. That was, I have to give credit to Neil. Neil was the leading force on that. I helped him, but he was definitely there. Definitely a game that was like high school for me. See, it came out while I was in college, and I played a little bit of it on like 4-player co-op, and that was good. C for classic. There we go. Classic, somewhat derogatory. Hi, Kiro. The buffeting sandwiches. I did like the buffeting sandwiches. I loved the reaction we had because it was the other half of the custom skins were from the buffeting sandwiches. Like half the page is for those sprites. But yeah, as I understand, you know, the rest of the game, there's a lot of replayability in it. It's a classic beat 'em up. There's probably better beat 'em ups you can play out there. I've heard good things about Absalom and, you know, half the TMNT games. You'd never played Castle Crashers before that time. Yeah, I mean, I had never finished it. I had only played like the first third, I think. I remember trying to get me to play it when I was 14. I fished and never touched again. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's a pretty unforgettable night of like fun gameplay for me, and that's great. But I've had like 6 unforgettable nights of gameplay with all of these up here. That's how I feel about it. Different game, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's good. I'll put it above Octopath, is what I'll do. I'll put Octopath behind it, rather. Because Octopath, I feel like there was a lot of filler in Octopath. It's a shame, though, because there's stuff that I really remember, I really vividly remember enjoying from the story from Octopath, but getting there was a pain. I remember senior when it came out. It was fun. Had a fun night or two with it. Yeah. The other Dream Daddy game coming out on top. Oh, I remember coming out on top because immediately, like, that game got announced and they revealed their cast, and it was like 7 dudes who were all like twunks, and not a single one of them had any difference in their, like, you know, body diversity. They were like barely different skin colors kind of thing. The Usoda enemy is Higurashi. Ah! Higurashi, yes. Higurashi when they cry is a different thing. There are apparently some Higurashi references in Umineko. No real diversity with the football did for me. I mean, I didn't really look that deep into it, so I don't know which characters those are, but I mean, if you're gonna play a dating sim, go play Tusk's The Gay Orc Dating Sim, which is better. Is that still on Itch? I need to find out what Mitch has been up to lately. I haven't talked to him in forever. Home for the Star when you've heard for bears. Yeah. Well, even then, it feels like there's this weird tension between, like, we should have body diversity, but if we have too much body diversity, then we're splitting our audience too much, and, you know, we want this to be for a certain breed of gay. And it's like, why can't, I don't know, it just feels like a non-problem. It's like, why don't you just have a good story with compelling characters and then include some, like, central erotic themes that matter to those characters? It should still be possible. Yeah, okay. It has 2 extra stories. That's right. I really liked Tusk's The Gay Orc Dating Sim. That was one of the reasons that I was only just barely, like, being an orc online at that point. And after I found that, I was like, oh, I feel seen. Somebody knows what this experience is for me. And I went for it. Orc Dating Sim 1. Exactly. It's also very well written. Like, all the characters have arcs, and they have things that matter about them, and there's, you know, eroticism that's not just, like, phoned in. It's deep and meaningful to each of the characters. I love that. Harder to market, especially since queer culture is very different based on age and country. Yeah, that's the issue. Well, yeah, you're never going to get investors. Although, didn't Exile Wolfia get, like, some funding? I don't forget. But I don't know. It's just, I don't like the idea of my cool adult visual novel needing investors. Get some, okay. But yeah, hang on. Let me check something real quick. Oh, that's weird. Okay. We'll chat for a bit longer. Don't need funding because they have whales now. Oh my god. Yeah. That's the problem. You can't have whales if inflation keeps skyrocketing. Yelling at the cloud. How dare you? I'm broke as shit sometimes. There'll also be people in the community who want them to get... Yeah. That's the funders. Those are the investors, are the whales. Okay. Why are lifesavers hitting so hard right now? I don't know. Silk Song. Where am I putting Silk Song? Okay, so this is... Please understand, when I say this is for me, this is about my experiences. This is extremely, I would say, personally informed. I am putting it in B tier. I'm going to put it right here. Not quite there with Blueprints. I'm going to put it between Blueprints and Pentiment. And least controversial. Here's the deal. Silk Song, like, I'm happy for Team Cherry. I hate bugs too, but like I love the art style of this game, and they make it so that the bugs aren't like gross and skittery to the point where I'm like, ugh. There's a little bit of that in the first game when you get into Deep Nest. I hate that part. Well then, I see how it is.
AESD Bugbear casts a spell. Reduce person.
He's always been making me small. Why are you making me small? Is it because bugbears are so big, huh? What's up with that? Anyways. I am bug-sized, that's true. No, I'm still pretty big. I went from a medium to small. Blueprints is very original. Yeah, my issue is, like, Silk Song made me feel inadequate. Silk Song... It's great. It's everything that I wanted from, like, a Hollow Knight sequel. It's also hard as balls. And I feel like a lot of the stuff that they did... Like, I hate corpse runs. I think corpse runs give you nothing out of what you want. And the Bilewater corpse run is borderline a hate crime. I can't imagine enjoying that prospect. And it's like... Oh, but it makes the time when you beat the boss all the sweeter. I'm like, no, not after that. Not after having to do that multiple times, and then also having to fight the boss, and then dying to the boss, and then having to do it all over again. I'm just like, I don't love it. I don't love it. Kirill Neal, Breck's fan art where the Kirill has to take the spider outside because Breck's Neal grossed out. Yeah, actually, that's me. That's the one thing I forced my husband to do. I'm just like, no, get him. Get the spider out of here. I'm not ready. Silk Song has some sloggy parts. Yeah, I love what they did. I love most of that game. But the bad parts drag it down. To the point where I'm like, other people are like, oh, easy game of the year. And I'm like, really? Did we play the same game? And then my other issue with, which is also an issue with Hollow Knight, is how after you get to a certain point, before you hit credits, all that's really left is just really hard boss fights. And for people who love that, great. Happy for you. I like the gay bugs too. The gay bugs were the best part of that for me. Yeah. Games that are super hard for no reason is true. Also, I am being forced to take another ad break. God damn it. We'll be right back. I want to make sure I got the reduced person in. I'm back with more about bugs, more bug opinions in just a couple minutes. we're back. People are, we're lion-pilled, we're wolf-pilled, we're orc-pilled. It's so true. I eat the orc pills like Tic Tacs. Don't eat too many, you don't want to overdose. Or do you? Oh, whoa. How come my music isn't playing? There it goes. I guess it was just in like a track changing. Anyways, bug opinions. Silksong. I really like the gay bugs. I thought that they were really cool. I like their boss fight too. I like everything about the Citadel. I don't know. I didn't like that the true ending was locked behind like 4 or 5 different very hard boss fights. Yeah. I don't know. I'm glad, like, I feel like Team Cherry did not compromise on what they were making when they made Silksong. They didn't try to make a game that would be for everybody, like, to capture more audience. Nor did they need to. I feel like they got exactly what they needed out of Hollow Knight. Like, so Silksong, they wanted to make the best Silksong they wanted to make for themselves. Good for them. That doesn't mean that I have to put it any higher than I do, and I don't think that they would be upset about that. And, yeah. Ooh, okay. Okay. This next one. How do I feel about this next one? This one's been sitting with me for a little bit, and I'm not sure. I think... Oh. Hades 2. I kind of bounced off the original Hades because of the early access problem, where I like lost my save file, and I wasn't able to get back into it and replay all of that. So I think this hit harder for me than most people. I did not consume, like 50 hours of Hades 1. I think I did like 8 or 10 at most. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna put it in a high B. Because it's really, really, really good. It is also Hades 1, but more. Hottest take, yeah. Hottest take. Hades 2, not as good as they say. Not even that, actually. I would say Hades 2 is as good as they say, but there are better games. Again, like, it's not like there were that many bad games this year. Hades 2, like, I guess the thing is, like, I was, somebody else put it recently that, like, I was like, oh, this is how I feel about it for sure. Which is, Hades 2 feels like fewer new ideas from Supergiant, because what Supergiant used to do was they would take everything that they learned from the previous game and apply it to a whole new experience, and they would refine those like gameplay ideas and those like story ideas and so on. And Hades 2 feels like less about redefining what that game can be and more about let's add as much as we can and polish everything until it's as polished as can be. And I think that the narrative is a little bit weaker, although I have not played the new ending. I do need to go back and play the new ending at some point. Apparently I finished it right before they updated the ending, so I might need to check that out. But in the version that I played, I was not unhappy with the ending. I felt like it actually did mirror the first game's beats in a good way. Yeah. I don't know, I like it. I would put it above Blueprints because I think that there's... Both of these being roguelikes, I can see myself coming back and trying a lot more new stuff with Hades than I would with Blueprints. And, like, I'm very excited to see what Supergiant does. It's not it's still not my favorite Supergiant game. That's still Pyre, and everyone else doesn't love Pyre, but I do. I love Pyre. It's my favorite shit out of their stuff. Transistor may be a close second. Hades 2 is also very good. Like, they're all good games. It's just that, we're ranking. We're ranking. We're judging and we're ranking. We have to put them, like, no rules, just right. That's how this works. I love Pyre. Did she give? She did. She served. Melinowee absolutely served, and good for her. I think the bosses in 2 were a little bit better than 1. I also like the build options. Like, the weapons are more creative. Like, a lot of the stuff that was in 1 is done better in 2. To the point where I would say 2 is better than 1. But I would say, yeah, it's like Pyre, Hades 2, Transistor, Hades 1, Bastion. And the only reason I'm putting Bastion at the bottom is because it's just not as good as the rest. It's good, it's just not as good as the rest. I like the funny solo music. Yeah, I mean, I love that. I think there's just a lot of wonderful little touches. I love Narcissus. I love that the beast at the end of the fields is a character that you thought you knew, or that you ended up knowing from previous stuff. I love every little touch about the other route. Only B rank. I mean, but I'm telling you, it's a high B. You know what, actually? No. I almost bullied myself into putting it at the bottom of the A rank, but it's better than most. It is better. No, well... I'm listening to my heart. What does my heart say? What does my heart say? I don't know. So here's the thing. I devoured this game, so I am gonna put it at A. Because I don't get like that unless a game really gets its hooks into me, and this game did get its hooks into me, and I really liked doing it. No takesy backsies. No way. I feel like I can take back as much as I want. Can't send you 2 shirtless orcs as a bribe. I will say, I do think Avowed is slightly better. Like, Avowed hits a lot of buttons for me, especially with the combat. I think Hades 2 might have slightly more polished combat, and a lot more option. No, it has plenty of options, but I think Avowed has a lot more, like, interesting, like, crunchy stuff going on in the combat. Where's my journalistic integrity? I sold it for bigger tits. Take that. Integrity in this economy? You devoured it, but did you claw its eyes out and drown it to death? Well, you know what I did find out? Is that Lewis Cole, who you might know from very many musical shitposts, and also the band Nowhere, in the, like, super hard version of the Kronos boss fight, he plays drums on the track that plays, and it is a fucking percussive nightmare. And it's crazy. I recommend you check it out. Just like Titan of Time featuring Lewis Cole, and he goes crazy. That's a lot of times I got the jar. That's you're on a 15 stream streak with your jar, Mister. Keep that jar away from me. Don't you dare touch me with that jar. All right, Hades 2. Do I have anything else I want to say? I love the big axe. Big axe. That's my other favorite thing about Hades 2 is that it had big axe. And as that spoke to me as an orc and as a player, I'm just like, big axe. Hephaestus is also a big hottie. A lot of people are hot in that game. It's a little bit unfair, if I'm being honest. Just a teeny bit unfair. Alright, oh god. Oh jeez. Oh god. Epic 7. The only gacha game that I still play. Derogatory. Fucking Epic 7. This is kind of like, this is me reviewing Epic 7 this year, which is crazy because it's 7th year, right? This is potentially like the biggest, baddest it'll ever be. And like a gacha game, they don't last for that long. Like, I feel like you're lucky if you make it 5 years. It's crazy to make it 7. I'm not putting Free Ren in D tier. I'm putting Epic 7 in D tier. If anything, I'm putting it higher than XL Wolfia, and it's elevated partly because of Free Ren. Free Ren, the character, is an incredible PvE unit. And if anything, I'm disappointed that Fern was not the character that we hoped that she would be based on her kit. And Stark, I should say, just kind of hit the wall and fell down. But he's the free unit, which is kind of to be expected. It was a little disappointing that he probably could have been fine if they just pushed his damage a bit more. It's a great anime. Epic 7. Like, as part of the anniversary, before the Free Run collab, they released this really cool new unit, Genesis Ross, which is like the, super rare version of the main protagonist, which you can get for free, which is cool. And I like that they did that. But they also released another character, Lady of the Scales, who just ruined the meta. Every time it's like, and now they have just now released a character, like last week, who negates Lady of the Scales almost entirely. Like, she blocks damage sharing, she blocks immortality, and she blocks revive, which also blocks Genesis Ross. And so now I'm like, and this is the cycle that's been happening with Epic 7, is that, okay, cool, here's like 1 or 2 cool new characters, and now here's a hard counter to the character that's been a problem for everybody. And it's not difficult to get your hands on a new, like, limited, or I would say, like, red, blue, green character. It's the light, dark ones that are always hard to get your hands on. Because those are the ones that have, like, a special currency, and they, disappear from rotation after the first 3 weeks, and then they're just like, you better hope you get one. It's kind of power creep, but they also do a good job of, like, boosting old heroes to the point where they're more relevant, and they can, sometimes an old hero will get, like, a buff to the point where they become a hard counter to one of the problems in the meta. But, like, the problem with that is that you don't just have one problem character. It's one problem character plus another very good character who's a little bit better balanced. And then fighting both of those is a nightmare. And I don't know, man. I just feel like we're going through the same cycle over and over again. They say they have, like, at least 3 more years planned, but you can kind of see the features creeping in where, like, oh, just press a button and do all of your daily tasks in, like, one go. And so, like, they're trying to, like, keep people playing. The best in the business to try to update the old units to make them viable by getting money. Yeah. Well, and again, it's like every issue that I have with XXL Wolfia as a gacha is the same problem I have with Epic 7. Like, it has the same problems. Like, and the thing is that Epic 7 just has a bunch of big titty waifus. And I hate that the community is, like, just, like, relentlessly horny for them. That's so annoying. Ugh. It's obnoxious. So, the community's gotten worse. The game, like, they started using more, I think, like, AI voiceovers for their PR videos, which also leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And so, I don't know, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed with what they're doing. D tier for disappointing. Because, I don't know, it should have been better, but they made some, like, key mistakes, and now it seems like every bandage they do to cover up those mistakes just creates more problems than it solves. And it's kind of to the point where, like, everybody who I play this game with, we tell each other, like, oh, yeah, I haven't played in, like, a month. We all, like, good for you. Good for you. Don't play it anymore. The first problem with the gacha game is it's a gacha game. Yeah, exactly. Like, and then on top of that, it's also having issues. So, like, I didn't regret streaming it. It was fun to do that because it's like, here, I'm sharing this game that I play a lot. We can meme about it. We can talk a little bit about it. There's enough going on mechanically that it's interesting and engaging, but it's also like the older this game gets, the more they cater to that same, like, big titty waifu loving community, and it just regresses towards the mean. You just get more of those people and, like, fewer of the people who really, like, enjoy the gameplay. It's like it's turning into XXL Wolfia for, like, annoying straight weeaboos and straight teeny. Yeah. It's disappointing. So, anyways, that's my thing about that. Let's talk about Lucifer Within Us. Lucifer Within Us, I would put... Where did I put Lucifer Within Us? I played that fully on stream. I liked the... It's another detective game. I liked the timeline mechanic. I think I'll put it in C tier, but, like, slightly above Mars Vice. In the same... It's kind of the same thing with Mars Vice, where it's like, this is a really cool, like, concept. I love the prototype. I love what they're doing. I want to see them do more with it. But I think this developer is not interested in continuing it. Lucifer gives verse vibes. He likes to speak in verse, that's for sure. But yeah, I like that one. I like Lucifer Within Us a lot. I think it's been good. I would say it did fall apart a little bit with some of the like ways that you had to communicate to the game about what you knew. It was a little bit unclear sometimes, and I think that especially the like psychological stuff that you learn felt very like a shortcut that you just kind of let it happen. High C or low B? I'm saying high C because I can't recommend this to people as like, unless you're really into detective games and you like the idea of seeing what it does differently, then it's an easy recommend, which is why I was like, hey Neil, you should try this, and then he streamed it, and we talked about it for a long time after that. And it has its flaws, and it's interesting. And in some ways, if you're one of those, like, sometimes I like a game that's more interesting than good. I feel like this game is more interesting than, like, I don't even, like, it's still good, but it's not bad. It's more interesting than it is good, and it's not bad. That's what I would say. It was very, like, the mysteries were a lot more engaging to, like, go back and forth with when you could, like, scrub through the timeline. And as a video editor, or former video editor, I feel like it gives... What? Kami Jace, hello! Thank you for the raid. We're ranking Gay Farmers 2.0.3. Tell me more about these gay farmers of yours. Are any of them orcs? You have to tell me. It's a law. Let me give you a shout out. Let me see. Oh my god, another what? 2 of them? 2 raids? What the fuck is happening? 2 raids. Are you associated? Thank you, Royal Leo Knight, for the raid. Double raid. Let me give you both a shout out. There's one. Blam. Oh my god, the little guy. The little guy emo. Return of Gay Farmers. Okay, so you guys are acquainted. You've got the raiders saying the same message. Were you guys playing D&D? Did you get Gay Farmers? Did you play the Kingmaker? Because there's Gay Farmers in Kingmaker. I did fix my button. I used it just now. Let's see. Where's Oh, it's not. It didn't update. Dang it. Let me try one more time. I know you're in here. Nope. Okay, I have to do the other one manually. That's crazy. Oh, you're playing Stardew Valley. Okay, I should have paid attention to my own shout-out button. Royal Leo Knight. Did I get that right? That's not right. Why did it shout out myself? What's happening? All right, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Like, I typed it correctly, right? Like, I feel like I did it. What? It says the channel does not exist. Okay. Is something going off? Did I... Hang on. Oh, it cut off the T. I thought that was part of the thing. Okay, hang on, let me try this again. Well, the display didn't include the T. It says like Raider from this channel. I was like, okay. It didn't include it for some reason. So I was like, that must be a character limit on whatchamacallit, on Twitch's end. But I guess not. Oh, hello. Nice avatar. I approve. How was Stardew Valley? Did you have a good time? We've been over here ranking. Why did it shout me out when I didn't spell it right? That's the weirdest part. I don't understand why that worked. Why did it put my own face up? Sheesh. I'll straight up tell you guys. I'll show you right here. I'm gonna dox myself. I might cut this out later, but see right here. It says Raider from Royal Leo Knight. No T. It's crazy. It just I was like, oh, that must be the full username. But it wasn't. It was not. That's crazy. Anyways, we've been ranking games. We got some a lot of good ones this year. We got some clunkers. We got some stuff kind of in the middle of the pack. 2 arrows, yeah. Ranking gay things. It's true. We've been ranking them. Okay. Okay, should we continue? Did I finish saying my piece about how Epic 7 kind of sucks right now? Like, it's gotcha games, man. We don't like them anymore. It's 2025 and about to be 2026. You can do better than a gotcha game. Play any of these games instead. Dead Ringer. Now we're talking about visual novels and another detective one. Oh, Lucifer Within Us. That's right. I feel pretty confident with where I put that because, again, it's like it feels like a fully developed prototype, and I want to see more. But I can't tell people who aren't into detective games, check this out. Either it's just so that we don't have to talk about it. Like, I just don't want to talk about what people are talking about with this game right now. And it won so many awards. We love it for what we're loving it for. People have their opinions. Can you tell? maybe I like crime VNs. Oh. The only ethical orc gotcha?
Nomad_ed_cernf casts a spell. Create water.
Okay, we're stretching. All my detective game recommendations. Well.
Nomad_ed_cernf casts a spell.
I'm stretching.
Extend limbs.
Okay, top one. Rise of the Golden Idol is probably the big obvious. What else? Human Echo is maybe the best like murder mystery visual. I don't know if I would call it a detective game, but it is kind of a detective game. What else we got? I would say the classics like your good old your Phoenix Wrights, your Danganronpas. You know, they are classics for a reason. Just be ready for like extremely weird anime bullshit. Because those are the games that do it. Blake Manor is, if I wasn't playing that right now, I could say it's definitely a good detective game. I want to play it. I haven't done it yet. The retreats are dead. Oh, thank you for the follow, Swordy. Objection! Exactly. It's funny because, like, Phoenix Wright, they say, oh, it's a lawyer game. No, it's a detective game. You just, as a defense attorney, you're in the worst possible position and you have to do your own detective work. That's what that game is. Most of them are good. I would avoid... Actually, I think all of them are pretty good. I would avoid the second game unless you're, like, playing them all. We love Gumshoe. You know who else we love? Will Powers. Will Powers was one of the first, like, video game characters that I looked at and I went, he makes me feel funny. Original himbo. True. God. Ugh. Detective Gumshoe, you're so bad at your job, and I love you anyway. I love Will Powers. Not done yet, sustain. Blake Manor, I'm really excited to finish Blake Manor, but I gotta do that on stream on Sundays. On Seance Sundays, baby. Alright, we're playing Dead Ringer. Dead Ringer is a Game Jam game made this year for like a Spooktober jam, I believe. It involves a detective who shows up to a like 7-person homicide and finds a demon-possessed phone, or maybe like a demon that in the form of a phone that binds with him, and he has to go around and use the phone's powers to interview all of the spirits of the dead people and the remaining survivors to figure out who is responsible for everything. And I think they did a really damn good job, considering that it was a 1-month visual novel game jam game. Like, this is the Possum Detective, yeah. Also, very gay. We love it. We love the gay representation. There's also some complete disaster bisexual representation. I've never seen a disaster bisexual like I have seen in that game, and that's unfortunately a spoiler, but holy shit. Gumshoe has a massive crush on Phoenix. We can't around him, but with Miles it's fine. Maybe. That might be it. Dead Ringer, it's kind of in a similar spot where, like, I think it punches above its weight class for being a Game Jam game, and I know that they're not done with it. Like, they're going to polish it up and do a couple other things. My only real issue with the game was that sometimes it's a little unclear where I was supposed to go next for a game where you just move around and talk to things and people. Like maybe like a little objective indicator would be nice. And also, the very end of it might have been just because it was like at the end of a 4-hour stream, but yeah, the pastor. Well, that's the thing, is I like that it was not afraid to get a little messy with some of these people, especially the dead ones, and have some opinions about who they are and what they think, and like why it factors into like, why would somebody use a demon phone to potentially kill 7 people in a building? And it makes sense. My issue is more that like the logic that I was supposed to use to arrive at the conclusion of who the culprit was, based on how the like parlor scene played out, was so different from what I actually used to figure it out that I didn't know how to get to the correct answer that it wanted me to give them. It's like, oh, in order to give this correct answer, you have to get these 3 other answers first. And I think that, like, you know, this is something that, you know, I'm not putting this in the feedback form or anything like that. It's like, you know, this is probably something they're aware of, and I'm sure that, you know, as it gets polished and more people play through it and all that, they'll get there. But that's why I'm like, this is why I'm putting it in B tier. Putting it just behind Back to the Dawn, I think. See, Soda Regalia is also a game jam. So we're going to put these tied. I'm going to tie these together. Because the other thing was that the music is good. I liked the dialogue. I feel like it was better written than a lot of VNs that I've tried. And none of them that I've tried on stream. So I'm not you know, putting any, I'm not throwing strays at anybody. I think that for me, I'm very, very picky about the prose in my VNs, to the point where I will bounce off real fast if I spot too many typos, or if I am not engaged by the way that the writing is trying to pull me into the narrative. It's like, structure is interesting, but you only really get to see people play with structure of a story when you're like more than 20% through it, and even then it's usually not that clear until like 50%. So this, I think Dead Ringer did a good job of pulling me in. Like, the dialogue wasn't cringe, it wasn't, you know, like sappy, but it also had the right like weight and character, and like inner monologue made sense for the character and everything. And I'm interested to see what they do more with the idea. It could be fun to have more like Dead Ringer games, or have like maybe follow up with other characters in that world. I don't know. I want to see what they do. It's another one of those like, this bracket right here of like high C, low B is, I want to see more of what they do. That's what I'm excited about. Oh, we're in it now, baby. We got some good shit left. Next up is the Drifter, which I played in 4 streams on this channel, I believe. You can check youtube.com/@ Orcvibes VODs, I think is what it is. Uchikoshi ass game, yeah. Yeah, honestly, I could see it. The Drifter was excellent. And here's the thing. I'm putting it right behind Hades 2. It's very, very good. And I have yet to play a point-and-click adventure game that had as much of a thematically relevant, see more of what they... Oh, I see. But I can't put that as S tier. That means it would be higher than A tier. I see what you mean. Or maybe like C as in C with a C? Like spelled out S-E-E, but then it's like C? We'll see. Gotta make a command for that. Command for what? Haha. The Drifter. I don't know. The voice acting was incredible. The writing was excellent. I really only had a couple issues with like one chapter where I was wandering around, lost a little bit, which kind of happens in every point and click. The developers had like a little hint walkthrough available on their website which I appreciate. To the point where, like, usually with, like, the stuff in B tier is I had some, like, serious reservations with some stuff in here. Like, there's usually something like Pseudo-Regalia having 2 fights and nothing else. And, like, Deadringer, the ending, Back to the Dawn, the resource management was a little bit, like, unclear. Pentiment, like, the pacing was very slow, deliberately slow, but still slow. Silk Song, all the corpse runs, every corpse run I hated, and Blueprints with the accessibility and the lacking of the juice after a certain point. The Drifter, like, the worst thing I could say about it is there were a couple of points where I was unclear on what puzzle I needed to do. I might be building a pyramid. This is my pyramid scheme, is to get you to all play all these games at A rank. But yeah, the Drifter, I don't know, it was excellent. The story hit so hard and it was presented super well. And I think it actually did some really interesting stuff with, like, the point and click mechanic. And the whole, like, you know, if you die, dying and restarting is, like, canonically part of the game. And they incorporated that in a really interesting way that wasn't just like, let's do Undertale again. You know, a lot of games that do this, like, oh, you know, saving your data and loading your data, they just do the Undertale thing. And sometimes, you know, sometimes it's because they were before Undertale, sometimes it's just they were inspired by Undertale. This one, I don't know. I really like the Drifter. I love the writing, I love the presentation. The pixel art's gorgeous. And I don't know, especially the like emotional resonance of the last area and the themes of what, like, when you find out his backstory, why he's so sad, why his wife and he didn't talk to each other for such a long time. It's the severe trauma. Yeah, you get to play a hobo Aussie guy with severe trauma. It sure is something. Like, I don't know, the best puzzles in this game required interesting, like, lateral thinking in a way that, like, made me feel smart for having figured it out, which I always love about it. When a puzzle makes me feel smart, I'm like, all right, thanks so much, yeah, that's super cool. So that's why I gotta put it up here. It's excellent. It's an easy, like, if you ever wanted to play a point-and-click adventure game that was basically horror, but also, like, a little bit of a, I guess, thriller, like sci-fi thriller. Not even sci-fi thriller, horror sci-fi thriller. Like, it pulls that off, and it still has the occasional, like, very good joke too. And, like, a lot of the puzzles just make sense. There's some that are like, but most of the puzzles are like, oh, I see how I can do that with my current inventory. A teensy bit of TF, just a teeny bit, a teeny tiny bit. Mostly unethical. I need another slurp. Okay. GNOSIA. In fact, I'm actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna, as a demonstration of GNOSIA, we're gonna watch together the opening to the GNOSIA anime. I'm gonna pull this off. We're gonna find it, and it's so good, man. It's so fucking good. Oh, come on. Spell it right. GNOSIA is best described as, oh wait, where's the opening? I need the opening. Come on. There we go. Nope, don't start yet. There we go. What?
That blue demon casts illusory script. I think the Sork's right cracked me Desert P.
I used to know what that meant. It's Australian. I remember that. But what I will tell you, GNOSIA, it's a visual novel. Stop me if you heard this one before. It's kind of a visual novel, but it's also, it's Among Us. It's single player Among Us. You loop through over and over. You go over and over, you loop through, and you play essentially Werewolf in Space. It's more like Werewolf in Space or Mafia in Space than it is like Among Us, but Among Us is easy to say. I did recommend it because I was the anime is still airing, and while the anime has been airing, I played the game and I'm like, oh man, this is fucking great. So I'm gonna show you, and we're gonna watch the anime opening together because it's good. And my favorite fun fact about it is that it incorporates this, like, imposter theming into it, where the main vocals are done by a fake Vocaloid, which is to say a Vocaloid using real human samples and singing, and a VTuber, which means to me it's like, oh, neither of them are fully 100% human, which is a lot of fun. All right, blam, we're back. Okay, here we go. Oh god, get louder. Hang on, we gotta start this over at full volume, baby. Oh, I know what's up. For some reason, I have my Vivaldi, my browser volume set to really low. Let's fix that. There we go. Let's try this. Up. It's really cool. Oh, this is the ending. I mean, it's good, but it's not. No free content here. A normal anime OP. Not everyone. Sometimes they just stand in a big field and look at the sky while flower petals fly around them, which is not bad, but it's not what it needs. It's not a spoilery OP. But I don't know. I really like this game. Surprise, surprise. It's very good. I don't know if I would put it as high as like A tier. I think the anime is also very good. Let's put this back out. There we go. Man, just like the whole thing. The fact that every character feels unique and they behave differently, but they behave consistently. Like, I had a character in that game that I trusted, and when the one time, I felt like I could read them because there's a way to detect lying. If after a certain point, if you have a high enough stat, you can detect when someone's lying. It's so good. It's so good. And the way that you have to it's not just win as many rounds as you can. In fact, it's very hard to win to stay alive and not get consumed by the GNOSIA, who are the enemy faction in the game. That shit is once you start manipulating everything and start really treating it like a logic puzzle, and then the game likes to sucker punch you with okay, here's some extra content that reminds you that all these people are ostensibly human aside from the ones who got infected already. And then there's the deep lore about where did all these infectees come from? What is the GNOSIA anyway? How are they connected to this entity called GNOS? And what is that? How does that work into this? And it's why are you looping around over and over again? What is your ultimate goal? And your ultimate goal is not to just win everything, but your ultimate goal is to fill out the dossier of every single crew member. And once you do that, of course I would enjoy a 999. I love Uchikoshi. This is an Uchikoshi-esque game right here. GNOSIA is very Zero Escape coded. I would happily recommend it to... It's not sure if you... It can be played, not on the DS one, but it can be played on Steam. There's a Nonary Games pack that gives you both Virtue's Last Reward and 999. That's the one. Fill out the whole crew dossier, so Return of the Obra Dinn. Yeah, actually, yeah. It's imagine playing Return of the Obra Dinn, but instead of a completely empty ship that you have to explore, it is instead a ship full of people who may or may not be werewolves, in the classic werewolf betrayer sense, not the fun hunky werewolf kind. We have different werewolf metaphors for this one. But yeah, all that to say, I would probably put it at B tier, because it does struggle a little bit when you're still unlocking every skill and ability and stuff like that. I think it does fall a little bit short. It's a little tough to push through once you get through the initial oh, I can start winning some of these games now. And the presentation, some of the songs are not mixed super well and stuff like that. Played Mafia game, yeah. Werewolves like the One Night Werewolf kind of werewolf, Squippet. Unfortunately, not fun, cuddly werewolves. These are space werewolves who can erase you from existence, apparently. I'd be Hunky Werewolf TF. I'd betray humanity so fast. I mean, what's humanity got if there's Hunky Werewolf TF? But it's still worth it. It's still a great game. Which breakfast character would be absolutely terrible at Mafia Werewolf Traders? I think that's a tough one. I mean, Vizier would be the obvious choice. I can tell you one thing. Hadal would be the Rockio, and he would get voted out the first day every single time because no one wants to trust him. Who would be the best? That's a really good. No, absolutely. Who would be terrible? I think Hadal wouldn't be terrible, but he would get voted out first because no one won't trust him anyway. Who would be terrible? Like terrible at being the werewolf, or terrible at finding the werewolf? I think terrible at being the werewolf would be either like Karis or Aoife. Because I think both of them are like, they're so soft they wouldn't even want to be the werewolf in the first place. They wouldn't want to do the betraying. I'd probably say more Aoife than Karis, TBH. Aegir would be the best at finding the werewolf, for sure. The best werewolf would probably be Fides. I'll just say it. I think Fides is the best poker face, and he also is maybe the most like socially aware of how people talk to each other. I think he would be the best werewolf. There we go. At finding the werewolf is Aegir for sure. Yeah, Brex would be the one that you can't like, you can never put a pin down on him. Okay. We're on our last two, and we're almost at 3 hours, so this is timing out very well. I'm gonna say Keeper, which I played in one stream. It was a really incredible experience. No dialogue, all like the gameplay was really fun. It got better and better as it went on. It did slog a little bit during the boat section for me. I would say it's not as good as the Drifter. It might not be better than GNOSIA. I'll put it in between Blueprints and Silksong. Because that was like, I didn't waste any time. It is also short. But I don't hate that. Like, it's good. Oh, thank you. My throat is starting to get a
Land,
little bit
orc casts a spell.
parchy.
Create water.
The Keeper. The Keeper. Oh my god. The Keeper. I got the meme got stuck in my head and I just like blanked out. So what? What am I doing? The Keeper. No, not even the Keeper. Just Keeper. We have so many streakers in chat today. Everyone's streaking. Good for you. The Keeper. I think it's just really good. It's a beautiful audio-visual feat. I think that the gameplay stays fresh pretty much the whole time, except for that one boat sequence. I think it delivered on its premises. It was gorgeous. Yeah, it's just like, it impacted me, but it didn't stay long enough to impact me the way these games did. So I think that's maybe like a limitation. But it's also like, it's an easy recommendation. Actually, you know what? For that, I'm actually going to scoot it up a bit. I'm going to put it behind GNOSIA. Because, like, I can recommend this to anybody. It's like, unless you really have trouble with the idea of, like, the disc sequence. Like, if you can't play a Sonic game. I think I think Keepers is really, really good. I also think it's the perfect game to, like, buy on sale when it's, like, $10 or less. Because considering what you get out of this game for $10 versus like the list price of 30 or whatever, or if you have Game Pass, it's an easy recommendation for if you have Game Pass. It's hard to recommend Game Pass right now because Microsoft is kind of shitty, and I don't like it. I don't like Microsoft, but I can't help it that Double Fine and Bethesda and id Software are all owned by Microsoft right now, and I don't know how to play these wonderful games by developers that I respect and love and make beautiful art. It's fine. I love living in a capitalist hellscape where 6 companies own everything. Play indie games. That's what I'll say. Everybody who likes, I guess, Double Fine, free yourself somehow. You make such good games. Keeper's great. And I feel like if you haven't watched me play it, you should check it out yourself. See if you can get it on sale. If not, try and play it however you can, whenever you can. It's one of those things where, like, the less you know going in, the better. Yeah. Another wonderful OST. Incredible OST mix-up this time. Alright. Outer Worlds 2. Where am I going to put you, Outer Worlds 2? A game that I played entirely off-stream? You were pretty good. You were not as good as Avowed. You're not a D. You're not a C. I think I would put it B tier. I would put it up... I had a better time playing Outer Worlds 2 than I did Silksong. Right, we're going to decide that at the end. I'm going to elevate one of the A tier games to Game of the Year. And we're going to do that very soon, because Outer Worlds 2 is the last game on my list. Because everything else I started since then, I have to wait till next year to finish. Blueprints? I'll put it here. I'm putting Outer Worlds here in between Blueprints and Silksong, because I feel like it was another one of those games that, like, I did devour it. I enjoyed my time a lot with it, but I felt like there was a little bit of, like, once I collected all the characters, it kind of lost a lot of the gas. And I'm like, it's funny you bring Auntie up. Like, I think she was interesting, but I also feel like, I don't know, there was just something, it was almost so big and bombastic as to take away from the character stuff. There was a lot of spectacle going on in this one, which I understand is, like, it's the foil to the original Outer Worlds, which was more like regular-ass people trying to make their way and save the universe kind of as a result of that, whereas Outer Worlds 2 makes you feel like you're fucking, you know, super capable Earth Directorate agent, and you're constantly playing factions against each other. The factions are very cool. I like the Order, the Order of the Ascendant a lot. I liked that every faction had to, like, clear downsides and clear value for the people that were in it. Outer Worlds was New Vegas in space. Yeah, I like Outer Worlds more than I like the Fallout brand, like, setting, I should say. I like it more than the brand too, but, like, one of my real issues with Outer Worlds 2, which I didn't have with Avowed, was that in Outer Worlds 2, you have to make a lot of very important character decisions right at the beginning. I'm very glad I didn't stream it, because I would have made some stupid decisions, maybe for, like, the meme, and it would have fucked over my whole playthrough. I should watch the Stupendium video on Outer Worlds. Maybe I will. I might have to. Get rid of that. But yeah, that's my deal, is, like, again, the story was pretty good. It gave me, like, I think Outer Worlds 2 was the first time that I felt really engaged in, like, a sci-fi story since Mass Effect. And I'm like, this since Mass Effect 2, because 3 didn't quite hit the spot, and Andromeda, the less we talk about Andromeda, the better. I don't have time for that. I don't have the same opinions as everybody else. I don't think it was as bad as everybody made it out to be, but it wasn't. It was, everybody called it a 4 out of 10, and I think it's a 7, but it's definitely no 9. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I feel like if this had been a little bit tighter, pacing-wise, like if it had Avowed's pacing, and Avowed didn't even have amazing pacing, like it did get a little bit samey in the middle there, but I still enjoyed the exploration. Some of the exploration in Outer Worlds 2 was like, nah. Yeah, I liked Andromeda, but I didn't love it. That was kind of how I felt about it. There were a lot of things to like about Andromeda, but I was just not. I was left a little wanting after 3. think. Yeah. That's everything. Okay. One of these 7 games needs to elevate to Game of the Year. Holy shit. I can't believe these are my 7 games. It's so weird to think of this. Okay. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do... I know we're due for an ad. I know we are. So I'm gonna run an ad, give myself a couple of minutes to think about what do I want to elevate to Game of the Year. God, this is tough. Okay, here we go. BRB. Okay. So, as you may have noticed, I put them all up in here. Because I'm trying to think, what if maybe I can call it, like, what if we eliminate them one at a time? Out of all of these, which one... And I'm thinking about having a runner-up. Like, one has to be released this year, and one can be released earlier. Because there's a few in here, like, it's, like, Indiana Jones. Oh, no, all three, both of these have released last year. Or, well, Indiana Jones and Golden Idol were last year. Not Indiana, not Doom. Well, that's the problem, is I like them both. I think they're really good. Okay, let's see. Not Drifter? You don't think so? Okay. Man. Alright. Okay, so... I think I can have a runner-up who is not released this year. I'm gonna put that out there. We'll see if it actually happens. Maybe not. Which of these am I willing to say was not Game of the Year? I love the Drifter, and I love Hades. I don't think they're Game of the Year for me. So I'm going to take them and I'm going to put them down. So now we're down to 5. Indiana Jones was so good. Umineko was kind of life-changing for me, to be honest. Golden Idol was like everything I wanted out of a detective game and more. This game to me is like Silk Song to other people who love extremely difficult like platforming action challenges. This game is like extremely difficult logic puzzles. There was very few times I played Golden Idol and I was like, no, I couldn't have gotten that. You know, I had to brute force it, or I had to look up the walkthrough or whatever. Oh. Is it my Game of the Year for 2025, though? Avowed could be it. Both Avowed and Doom are, like, pretty high up there with what I really love about these games. I'm gonna take Umineko out of the running because I feel silly calling that my Game of the Year. I did have some issues with Avowed. My real issue with Avowed was that a lot of the environments towards the end felt a bit drab. Is that enough to say you can't get Game of the Year based on these other 3? I love Doom. Does that put it below Doom? Maybe not. Did I have any issues with Doom? Aside from it running on my computer kind of somewhat poorly. Were there any points in Doom where I was like frustrated? No. Okay, I'll take Indiana Jones out. Because Indiana Jones, while very good, I don't want to like it had more pacing issues than any of these games. Like if I'm going to take one out of here, Indiana Jones had more pacing issues than these two. Avowed. Man. I'm sorry, Indy. You're really good. You're really good. Look, I said you're right next to Umineko. That's how good this game is. It's so good. I'm already thinking about what if I continue playing it? What if I just go pick this back up? I gotta play the DLC at some point, right? Is that available? Can I play that right now? Maybe I'll play that. Oh, but it's not. Okay, I love Rise of the Golden Idol, but you know what? There were a couple cases, now that I think about it, like the warehouse one. That one threw me for a fucking loop. That one was ridiculous. And then there were a couple of them that were like, how... Alright. We're going here. Okay, it's between these two. Fuck. Can I give it to them both? Can I just give it to them both? Ugh. Doom was so much fun, you guys. This is the best Doom game they've ever made. What do you mean, nope? What do you mean, nope? There can only be one. Ugh. What negative things can I say about Doom? What issues do I have with Doom? I think sometimes when you play Doom, it can be a little too easy on the regular difficulty for the main campaign. I think... No, the gunplay feels really good. Oh my god. What can I say about Avowed? Avowed. What negative things can I say about Avowed? A couple of the environments are kind of drab. I think the story loses a little bit of focus. The story is better than Doom, though. Ugh. You know what? Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to YouTube and we're gonna watch the trailer for both of these games and we're gonna see how they make me feel. That's what we're gonna do. Alright, we're gonna do that. Let's go to YouTube. We'll watch the launch trailer. Doom, the Dark Ages launch trailer. I mean, yeah, but I already eliminated all the ones. Official launch trailer. Here we go. How do we feel about this? I guess content warning, violence. God, that was cool.
Targets identified.
I love the vibes in this one were incredible. Hitting the flail, oh my god.
Impact confirmed. The Slayer has been activated.
Oh my god. Oh, it was so kinetic. Ugh. God, the parry. Whole parry mechanic. That whole parry mechanic made me feel like the whole game was the final boss fight of a Zelda game. Oh, the mechas too? God. I just want to go back and play this thing. Holy shit. Man. Okay. Let's watch Avowed. Let's see how that makes me feel. I'm a little bit. I kind of want to dock the Doom one for having pre-order bonuses. Here we go. I understand. Okay. Oh, for Blood and Gore.
Ambassador Volshin Hilgar at your service. His Majesty names you our Imperial Envoy. An extension of the throne's authority. You've seen how wild the living lands has become.
Oh, the art direction.
Both in nature and in politics.
The consequences.
The source of the blight eludes us still. Just be careful. The Empire doesn't have many friends on these shores.
Me too. We're soft as hell.
And the Emperor would never forgive me if anything happened to you.
Just a baby. That was a hell of
But
a...
let's not dwell on unpleasant matters.
hell of a moment. Just fucking dying.
The living lands is fractured.
Is it Doom level politics? I mean, Doom sure wasn't.
Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own.
Oh my god.
There is no easy path from here. For you, or any of us. So you will decide. The choice is yours. As will be the consequences. History waits for you, Envoy. Go meet it.
Oh man. Okay, well, the premium edition just came with the soundtrack. I can forgive that. Okay. I was more like vocal during the Doom trailer because I think admiring it from like remembering playing. But the Avowed trailer made me remember, like, how deep that game goes. It reminded me of specific story beats. I guess... You know, if I can... I would give Doom the Dark Ages the honorary most Orcvibes out of any game I've ever played award. Like, this is... If you want to play what it feels like to be an orc, play Doom the Dark Ages. Because it's an excellent game, and it's hyper-violent, and super cool combat. It makes you feel like, oh, I'm the best fucking combatant in the world. But is it Eros' favorite game? Is it my game of the year? I think if in a year where... Well, that's the problem. I can't say which one got my attention longer, because Doom is a shorter game than Avowed. So, like, I played Avowed more, but like, I could play Doom again. I could play Avowed again. Oh my god. I'm just... Doom is the most orc game of the year. I think Avowed is the best game of the year. I'm gonna put Doom down here. I'm sorry, Doom. But I think the game of the year for me is Avowed. Avowed is just so good. Like, it's been a long time since I've seen a choices matter game the way that Avowed does it. And I think that its presentation elevates this, like, the ending sequence has so many different ways it can go. And the way that they present it in the game, in the same style as the, like, dream sequences where you remember, like, the people you were in your past lives. And what you, like, your relationship with the god. It does something totally different and cool and new with the way that it tells its story. And I think that pushes it above Doom for me. And I think that's why I'm sticking with it. Avowed is my game of the year. I'm staying Doom. These are all... I can easily recommend every game in these tiers. I can recommend all 4 of these if you like the genre. I have my service games I have a problem with, and we don't talk about Clair Obscur right now because we already said our piece about that. You know, it's still an incredible game. Incredible game. I had an amazing time with it. It was hugely influential and a big part of my life when I really needed it. But Avowed, like... Avowed is winning this award because we're not talking about Expedition 33. It got enough awards, so that's why it gets its own tier. Avowed does different, it takes so many wild swings, and even if it doesn't hit it out of the park on every single one, it hits enough, like, to just get more runs batted in than any other game on here, I think. Honestly, Indiana Jones is a close second, along with Doom, but man, it's exactly, E33 got enough too. Clair Obscur got enough cookies. We can't give them all the cookies. I think I gotta give it to Avowed. Because it was definitely between the 2 Obsidian games, which were both very much my shit. Avowed was just... I don't know, it hits. It's comfortable, but new and interesting. And it's... like... only game where you can grow a tree out of your head. That's how I feel about it. Alright, bonus round. Let's see what you guys... voted. I forgot to remind you at all during this point, but let's find out. Paste and go. Okay. I think I just did a test run with this. Let's see, most votes. A lot of you haven't played very many of these games. Maybe I should have forced you to rank it. Most votes. Hades 2 gets Game of the Year. Silk Song is A tier. Double XL Wolfia, everyone, enough people agreed. Okay, let's just see. Avowed, we had averaged out at B. Several people didn't play. Let's just go through the list here. Hades, tied for A tier in Game of the Year, so makes sense. It's it's a good game. Silk Song, it's a little bit more excellent than Game of the Year, but also I'm impressed. Castle Crashers, everyone just kind of agreed that was C tier, so it goes in. It's crazy. Hello, Ain't Thin. Welcome. We're at the very end of the stream. I just picked my goatee, which was Avowed. We're going through the audience results right now. Everyone largely agreed at Double XL Wolfia, don't bother. And everyone put Expedition 33 in the tier where it belongs. How about everybody else? We got some B tiers for that one. I like how we have a goatee and an A tier for Umaneko. Excellent. Oh, we got some changes. We got some updates. Keeper got a B. Very nice. Dead Ringer, it'll be a little bit of C. I guess I was warmer on it than you guys. Doom, A tier. Oh, someone gave it D. You guys just don't like hyper-violent games. I like hyper-violent games if they're good enough for me. Oh my god, we're updating in real time. Holy shit. Octopath Traveler 2 got a B tier. Things are going okay there. Anything change up here? No. Okay. Pseudo Regalia, another new brother haven't played. The Expedition 33 awards. Exactly. People have been saying it's got enough cookies. We don't need to talk about it too much. How about Lucifer? I know that we got a B and a C. That makes sense. The Drifter. Some votes for A. Love that. Epic 7. Wide range. Somebody put it in E tier. E for Epic, I guess. Mostly D. I agree though. I was very disappointed with how they've been handling that lately. Mars Vice. I can't disagree that it's excellent just because we love our disaster lion boy. He's such a disaster, and yet the narrative somehow justified him. Pentiment. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's the best book game. It's the best book game. Game that's a book. It's a game that's a book and it's good. Same thing with Rise of the Golden Idol. It's just like, oh, that's the best of this version of this game. That's for damn sure. Avowed. Ooh, we got some surprising spread here. We got a little bit of C tier, mostly A and B. Indiana Jones. A lot of C tier. You guys have problems with Indiana Jones? Do you have problems with the game, or do you have problems with Indy, or like the franchise? Because I think that I couldn't ever put this at C tier. Outer Worlds 2, a little bit more B, a little more B than C. Oh, there's a D in there. Oh my goodness, nobody put A. We got Avowed got way higher than Outer Worlds 2. That's crazy. You know what's really funny is that one of my complaints about Avowed was that it felt like the inventory system was like over encumbered a little too easily. Outer Worlds 2 didn't have over encumber at all. You couldn't get it, which I actually kind of liked, but it also, I don't know. I think Avowed might have been a slightly better game if you could just carry it, but it also, when you have it in Avowed, it forces you to sell all your garbage, which I like. Okay. Well, so that was interesting. You guys went some interesting places with this. Everyone agrees that Castle Crashers Remastered is C tier, and that Wolfia, don't do this to me. All right. What a lovely bonus round. We'll go back here. We'll leave it like this. I feel like I'm pretty good with this. I feel like this means I have good taste. That I liked most of the stuff that I liked, and it seems like most people seem to largely agree. I want to pick up Back to Dawn again. I am really considering another playthrough of Indiana Jones, Avowed, and Doom all at once. Man. Yeah. My voice is getting hoarse, so let's maybe find somebody to raid. Yeah, it didn't ask you to vote on blueprints because I forgot to include blueprints when I set it up, thinking I could just edit it later, and I couldn't. So I was a little disappointed. Quick, everybody put your tier for blueprints in the chat. Right now, while I find somebody to raid. I'm gonna go to intermission page. Blam. Wow. We're here, baby. Didn't play. 8 here. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yes, it's me. An alternate read that it's your community shares your taste. Perhaps. Perhaps indeed. Gosh, an audience that enjoys the same vibes and aesthetics and mechanics that I enjoy? It's crazy, actually. Are you sure? Are you sure that's right? Who am I rating? Who am I rating? We can't enlarge local. No, please don't enlarge me. I'm not ready for it. Oh. Okay. I feel like we should raid Agra, because I haven't raided Agra in a long time, and I want to raid like a friend. So let's go. He's playing Final Fantasy Tactics, the remake, a game I have not touched yet this year. Maybe next year. I raided Corkum pretty recently, I think, so I'm gonna stick with Agra. Plus, last time when I raided in the middle of 14, he was like on a break screen, even though the thumbnail said he was live, like in person. So I don't want to catch him in that again. I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Yeah, he's still going. He's going. Got some stuff going on. Cool. All right. We're gonna go say hi to Agra. Start that raid. Thank you all for joining me. Another goatee stream in the bag, baby. Hit those credits. Remember to say thank you to Benunky and Grimmy for the emotes, and King of Heck, aka Lude Liege from Avatar, my lovely model. It's been wonderful. Truly say you need to check the whole gaming community. I rated him like 3 streams ago. I think I haven't rated. I have not rated Iagra in a month, and I'm pretty sure I've rated Corkum more recently. So we're gonna go with Iagra, because it's also, I haven't been, like, it's Tuesday, and I don't normally stream on Tuesdays right now. I'm just doing it today because tomorrow's fucking Christmas Eve and I'm busy going to my family. So we're doing it now. God, I watched my husband destroy the fucking Final Fantasy Tactics remake. He didn't just max his level out to 99. He de-leveled all the way to 1 and then back up to 99 like 6 times. Just because he could get more stats that way. It was ridiculous. Anyways, say hi to Agra. And, oh, I see what you mean. Corcoran. Happy holidays. I'll see you guys on Sunday for another Seance Sunday. And maybe even New Year's Eve. I haven't figured out my plans yet, so we might do a New Year's Eve stream. Goodbye, everybody. I will see you next week. Happy holidays.